out there in the internet land. Welcome to Almost a Party. It is our 13th episode. Unlucky number 13, which means we'll see how the players handle it today. Hey, we are going to be down. One of our players, Alondiel, has family in town already for the holidays and won't be making it. This will also be our last session of the year, as we will be taking the next 2 weeks off for the holidays and returning on January 8th for our next session. And so we've got a bit of a break coming up here. But last time, our players, concerned about what to do next, decided to go to Harrington to visit the councilor there, who had left a letter for Sadzi. The letter invited Sadzi to come out and visit and talk about her condition. And as they were making their plans, they ran into a Leonin, who claimed that they were sent as part of the army of Utra to lead a group of adventurers. Having come in and claimed leadership, the party has hesitantly accepted them into the group, but not as a leader. Our players did some preparations and traveled to various cities, and we find them now in the city of Mint, beginning to head their travels westward towards the Hand of God Mountains to pass through the Dwarven territory to reach the nation of Harrington. So, as you all come out of the portal in the town hall, you are greeted by Councilor Glitterhold, and he welcomes you back to Mint. Greetings. I did not expect I would see you so soon. Are you
We did
staying
not
or just
expect to
passing
be back
through?
so soon.
So, yesterday, 2 days ago, uh, when you were here, you asked about your friend Sephin, and I reached out and I've not heard any word back from Councilor Coppercloak yet, but I hope to hear soon. Once I hear, I will definitely send word to you about what is going on with your friend. Is there anything that I can get you while you are here?
Food would be perfect.
Excuse me, who are you?
This is Valerian. He claims to have been assigned to us.
And
He'll
initial reports.
snort a little bit because this has been confirmed. I will give Ori a glare, but he won't say
Yeah.
anything.
Initial reports and responses from the appropriate sources have confirmed his assignment. Provisionally.
Ito doesn't say anything about this because, frankly, he joined under more questionable circumstances.
Yep.
What do you mean? What could be more questionable than being found in the middle of nowhere?
And
So we are just stopping in to visit. And I believe we are headed on towards the mountains.
oh, are
Our
you
final
going to
destination is...
check on your friend?
We were hoping to. Our end destination presently is the city of Harrington, which I believe we have to traverse through the Hand of Gods to get there.
That's definitely the fastest way to get there. You could always go over the mountains or around. Um, Probably safer going through under the mountains through the Dwarven territory, but there are other ways to reach it.
I believe through may be the most efficient way for us. I have never heard stories of traveling through a mountain through Dwarven territory that has ever led to any kind of disaster. and hopefully give us the opportunity to potentially reconnect briefly, if possible, with Sephin.
Well, I hope that you find him as you go. So Valerian, was it?
Yes. And you are?
I am Councilor Gilcos Gleaming Hand.
A pleasure.
He goes, food. Yes, I can arrange some food for you. Uh, follow me. And he leads you out of the back room where the teleportation circle is into his main office, and then out of the town hall altogether. There, and starts leading you down the street towards a tavern.
Please note. Sorry. Please. No, I lost his voice. It's fine. He's just gonna tell them that we need to have meat for Sadzi because there was an unfortunate misunderstanding the last time we ate.
He goes,
Yes,
understood.
please.
Well, the Courageous Steed here has some of the finest food in all of Mint. So I am sure you can find whatever it is you are looking for here.
What was the name of this place?
The Courageous Steed.
Quick, Mizeki, hide.
Hey, that's rude, I assume.
Is that rude to you?
He did. That was just me. That wasn't in character.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it'd be a little rude to take a centaur to a place called the Courageous Steed that I'm assuming has
mean-
like a horse imagery on front of it.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a picture of a human with another human riding them.
Unlikely, but maybe.
So it is a picture of a horse, a very majestic white horse with a knight atop riding it into
Awesome.
battle.
Well, since Mazeki's not a horse, that's not a problem.
And the counselor leads you in. And as soon as he walks through, you see the orc bartender or behind there just quickly rush out, go over to a table, and make sure to start cleaning it up and getting it ready, and then waves you all over to the table. It's nice being the counselor. You get a few benefits and perks. I can basically walk in and get a table whenever I need it. Even when they are busy, and you look around and the entire place is packed. This was the only table. Oh, and he rushed over to clean it instead of waiting for the busboy to come around and do it.
Valerian nods approvingly, and a smile forms on his face.
So you all would like food? Is there anything particular that you would like?
Meat, preferably slightly bloody.
All right.
Something spicy, please.
Meat with minimal blood.
I am fine as is, thank you.
I will have the house's most recommended dish.
I was kind of hoping Ore would just go for blood. Just have like a range.
Hey, there's always black pudding.
All right. And so as you are saying all of these, you can see that the counselor is writing down your orders. Does anybody speak Orcish?
No.
All right, so it's not in a language that any of you understand then. But eventually he calls over the bartender and hands him the paper with your orders on it. So, Valerian, who sent you?
The army of Utra.
And they sent you all the way to Drusus.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Drusus and beyond, as you now see.
These fine folk, I've known them for a few months now. Helped them out, got them gear, sent them down to the wilds. They're pretty spectacular folk.
We are.
Indeed. I was told that this was an assignment of the utmost importance, that it was necessary for my particular skills, and that we would have quite a, as you say, special team to work with. Quite skilled.
And
Speaking of, I've yet to see your skills, and so I do believe I would like to perhaps test those with you at a later date.
Ah, a duel.
Yes, a duel. It's been too long.
He stands up and he flexes, and he looks at you and he says, "Why wait?"
Ito looks to the councilor for about half a second and then looks back before actually gauging what the councilor thinks of this. Why wait indeed?
the counselor goes, best not in the tavern.
Outside.
That laughing was in character as well, by the way. Mizeki is 1000% laughing right now.
They, I mean, I think they're both characters are probably very much looking forward to this, especially after being on the road for so long. So yeah, they just kind
Absolutely.
of walk outside, and
The
I don't know
boys are going to
Ito.
have a tussle.
Do
I don't
we
know
do we
Ito's
want to just like
background.
do roles off screen? Yeah, my
Sure.
background is gladiator, so this is like my whole thing.
Yeah, so they're both very comfortable with just sparring a lot, because in his military training, he would obviously spar quite a bit. So they're just like, all right, yeah, let's go do it.
Cool. So
Yeah, Insanity, how do you want us to handle this? We can just roll off screen. If you guys want to continue speaking at the table, we can roll. Or if everyone's just coming to watch, then we can just role play it on screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to the rest of the group. The counselor's not coming out. He's definitely staying in, waiting for your food. As will Alondiel.
Can we just get a table near a window so we can eat and watch them fight? You know, dinner and a show?
I will accompany you in case one of you needs medical assistance. And he looks directly at Valerian. I am kind of curious to see your capabilities in combat. I have seen Ito's up close.
So I mean, obviously in character, they probably wouldn't say this because I'm assuming the characters are, squaring off a little bit. But obviously it's sparring, so we're not gonna try and kill each other. It'll all be non-lethal damage, non-lethal smites.
yeah, out of character, I am terrified about smites right now. Paladin as the high DPS class. Thank you.
Are you evil? Should you be worried? Are you a fiend
Well,
secretly?
well, no. It's more just that 2d8 on your attack is scary.
Yeah, it could be.
I gently smite him.
We should probably, if we're doing it like in character, we probably should. Well, I guess I'll just say it's in character. So we walk outside and we kind of square off, just in the middle of the street, because I mean Mint is like an established city, so we're just like on a finely cobbled road,
Lots of
and just
passerbys going as
yeah,
you're sizing up each other.
try and make our own little dueling area to make it clear that people are, that we're dueling here. And I assume both Ito and Valerian would quite brusquely, cajole people and tell them, hey, we've got this thing going on. And then Valerian would look at Ito. We're probably about 10 feet apart, and he'll get his glaive off of his back. And we're both armored, I'm assuming. And so he'll turn to Ito and he'll say, to blood. Agreed.
Eh, to whatever you deem necessary.
So
I will
Ore
tap.
follows the two of you out. Sorry, go ahead.
I
Until
will tap
one
out when I need.
concedes.
Yes.
I agree to these terms.
So Ore followed you out and see that you're just going to set this up in the street. There's no parks or anything or yards. It's just street at this point, correct?
Yeah, this is just street. There are several buildings all around this area. There are several just people of the city that are just going by about their business during the day.
All right, let's do that. That initiative thing. Ito, anything you wanted to say?
No, that's about it for me. Just one.
Are you in Fantasy Grounds? Or did you just want to do it in D&D Beyond?
Yeah, just roll in D&D Beyond and Theater of the
Yeah, I was
Mind.
just gonna roll it beyond.
All right.
I
My
don't have a
is
map for
15.
this situation, so
That's all right. We can theater. I mean, it's a very compact
17.
thing. You
17
have
on that.
17. All right, you go first.
How were you not prepared for us to
Cool.
start a brawl in the middle of the street, DM? Come on.
Yeah, why was this not a thing you had a contingency plan for?
Yeah, come on now.
So,
who says I
Ito
don't?
is
I just
gonna.
don't have a map for it.
Fair.
Fair enough. Ito is gonna start with short sword in one hand, hand axe in the other.
All right.
I just
Well,
remembered that
I would.
means I lose my shield, so no, it's actually just gonna start with the short sword.
All right. Well, I would
will
say that.
steal some of their food.
So,
Oh, Ito hasn't rolled to attack yet. I thought that was Ito's attack. I was like, 24 is gonna hit.
Yeah, that is his
that
attack.
was the attack roll, yes.
I don't see it in the history, but yes, that hit.
Yeah. Short sword to hit, 24. And that'll be 9 damage on the first swing.
This
And
is
then,
bothering me though because I can't see the history. Anyway, cool.
Huh.
9, you
Yeah,
said?
do a try a
yep,
force
9
refresh.
damage. And I'm going to then attempt to shove you prone as a bonus action. Still does nothing, still a point of pride.
All right. So athletics opposed.
Yep, opposed athletics. I got a 5 plus 7 for 12.
I also got 12, and you have to beat me. Wait,
What?
I
You got a
a 1.
7.
You get a 1 plus 6.
Yeah, my my
Okay.
rolls or interface is all messed up. Anyway, yes. So
Okay,
you shove me
so-
prone.
Woo! And that does nothing because I now end my turn.
All right. Well, let's see. I was gonna ask a question real quick to see how seriously Valerian takes this, but he, as you can imagine, takes it very seriously.
Yeah, it's not a
So
question.
he stands up and then he utters a spell, and a shield, like a reddish gold shield, appears before him. He casts Shield of Faith on himself. And then he will try and attack you with his spear. Actually, I did forget. DM can rule this, but I have Polar Master, so I would have gotten an opportunity attack when he closed on me.
Okay, you forgot about it. So
All right, I will roll on you. That is a 17 to hit.
Miss.
Ooh.
Thankfully, I kept that shield on.
Ooh, spicy. All right, that's it.
all right. At this point, as you have started swinging your weapons at each other, you hear alarms begin to blare out throughout the city.
Ah, good. Fanfare.
Ito.
I was wondering when the horns would start. So, Ito, unfazed by this, is going to drop his short sword and go for his Ikalwa. That'll be a 15 to hit. I assume it's a miss.
Yeah.
Gonna go for another bonus action shove. 22.
Nice, that'll pass because I rolled 6. I don't think I rolled above a
Okay,
single digit.
cool. So now you're prone. I'm gonna action surge and attack again.
Alrighty.
That's going to be a 22 to hit, 23 to hit,
That will hit.
and another 9 damage. So Ito basically drops the sword, immediately tries to spin with the spear, misses the first swing, and then knocks Valerian prone and swings the butt of the spear downward.
Villain will grunt and he's bleeding a little bit, and then he'll stand up and he smiles. I haven't had a fight this good in months. And then he'll swing his glaive at you again. This time it will be a 17.
Miss again.
Still a miss, and then he will swing the butt of his spear at you. Nat 20,
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
and you know
I
it's
am
coming.
terrified. Yeah,
He's
I know
going
exactly what's coming.
smite the smite. So that's going to be 4d8 plus d4 from the spear.
Well, and that's also 2d4 because it's a crit. So 48
yeah.
plus 2d4 plus strength.
Ow.
All right, so that's
Minus 3
18
though.
from the smite. Seven, so that's 25 plus strength is
And
4, 29.
29 minus 3 for
Minus
heavy
3,
armor
so
master.
26, yeah.
Yeah, 26. Cool. Ow.
So Valerian stands up and he swings his spear, and then it clangs probably off Ito's shield. And then he smiles, a wry smile, and then swings the butt of his glaive around and smacks Ito right in the face. And there's this bright burst of energy, and Ito has taken quite a wound.
Ito definitely spits out a little bit of blood and looks up, and he's just smiling because he wasn't expecting magic in this fight, but boy howdy is it going to make it fun.
All right. At this point, the alarm's blaring. I need each of you to make a wisdom save.
13.
That'll be a 7.
All right. You find each of you immediately go stiff, unable to move, as you see several elves wielding long swords just appear all around you.
Since I was there, like off the side of the road, am I subject to that as well?
No, you're not fighting.
Gotcha.
They go, what seems to
trickery
be
is
the
this?
problem here?
Can we still speak?
Yes.
In
So,
stutters.
okay. Ito's just like, sparring. Sparring is not a problem.
And Valerian will nod as well. Just a friendly sparring match.
They go, take it outside the city, and one of them casts a spell, and a portal opens up. And as that portal opens up, you feel your muscles relax, and you're able to move.
Okay, walk through the portal.
Yeah, Ito's like, okay, sure.
All right, and you see the portal leads you outside of the city to where you initially came in. I guess neither of you initially came in here. I'm
Right,
thinking a long
yeah.
time ago. Yeah. So you're outside. You're on the south side of the city.
They just like
Ore is
teleport
gonna
us to the top of the mountains, like out of the middle of nowhere.
No, you're just outside the city.
Ore-
You can see the city walls as you are now outside.
as the portals open and the two of them go through, Ore is gonna. I am with them as well. Can I join them?
So, just no fighting in town, and they just kind of
Understood.
signal for you to go through.
So I follow him through the portal as well.
So I assume we go through the portal and just kind of resume. Now we're both a little bloodied. Seem to be enjoying it, and Valerian will make a come hither motion to Ito, and it's his turn.
Cool. Are they gonna stay close together after they go through so that I don't get that attack of opportunity on me?
Um, Up to the DM.
I feel like Valerian would be respectful enough not to whack the shit out of him when they restarted.
Well, I think that both of them would be smart enough not to attack as one walks through the portal
Yeah.
because of what the guards just did to them.
Yeah, it's an honorable duel.
So
Yeah. So probably just set themselves up like roughly where they were a moment ago.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Cool. So, and back to bonking. I'm gonna continue making the roll for the shove every turn, but quite honestly, it still means nothing. It's just funny.
It did help with your action surge.
Yes, but I only have one of those.
it's a
True.
point of pride.
That's a 20 to hit.
That hits exactly.
It's another 9 damage.
You seem to like that number.
Yeah, apparently. And back to you. Well, aside from the roll. It's a 25 to shove.
It's a 15. Valerian keeps getting pushed around. He's not very happy about this.
Yeah, Ito's just repeatedly. Actually, I think this time Ito's gonna push. No, Valerian's reach is 10 feet, so pushing him 5 feet back doesn't let me escape without AOO. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is just gonna shove him prone again.
Oh, I do need to make a concentration save.
Ooh, yes.
Made it.
Dang it.
I wasted a nat 20 though.
Hey, it means another not crit smite on me.
Seriously. All right. Valerian's gonna kind of weigh his options here because you're quite a good foe for him, but his options are gonna continue to be smacking at you. But first, what he'll do is he'll let out a roar. So you need to make a wisdom save, I believe. And if Valerian's player had
I was
remembered he
worried
could do this, he
about
would have done it before.
that. Yep.
I think
18 on the save.
that's gonna save though. I believe. Let's see. Yeah, DC 13. So then he's gonna try and smack you. That is not gonna do it. 15. So it's your turn.
Is there
Cool.
anybody outside the city around where these guys are fighting?
No. So they were sent outside the city off of the road. So you can see that there are people going in on the road, but they're not near enough to where they're fighting.
Gotcha.
Is the food been delivered?
No, it's been like 12 seconds, man.
Didn't they get frozen for a little bit? Did you just run up, yell at them, and then dismiss them
Yeah,
in round time?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't a single one. There were 5 of them.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, Ito's gonna, continue swinging. Basically, his goal here is to. He's hoping to stay close enough to Valerian that the glaive becomes unwieldy simply because it's meant for a 10-foot reach and he's staying within 5. Not that that means anything mechanically. That'll be a nat 1 to hit.
Hey.
And bonus action. This time I'm gonna second wind because I forgot about that.
Oh, the one time I actually get a good athletics check because I thought you were coming at me. All right. So as you second wind, then Valerian's going to take a couple steps back, so you do get opportunity attack on him. Well, first he's going to lay on hands, and so you'll see him. Sorry, wrong button. You'll see him gather some strength, and he'll just use most of it because we're just going to rest tonight. And then he's going to take about 10 feet step back, and so you'll get opportunity attack on him.
Yeah, I'll take that opportunity attack. Thank you. 19.
That misses.
Oh.
So seeing you take your second wind, Valerian will also gain some energy, take a step back. You barely miss him, and then he's smiling. He's thoroughly enjoying this. He's already told you that's the best fight he's had in a while, but you can tell that like you've been with him long enough now that you can tell that he's usually scowling, but he is like truly in the moment, like enjoying this more than you've seen him enjoy anything else.
Who looks the most hurt so far?
Definitely Ito, because I think Valyrian's back at full if he just used all of his lay on
Yeah,
hands.
I'm not quite full, but
Or
I
not full,
quite
but
yeah.
yeah, I'm just over half.
Gotcha.
There's a 6-point difference in your current hit points, with Ito being
6.
down that 6. Yeah,
Yeah, because Ito probably has more max HP than Valerian.
yeah.
I believe they're tied for max,
Nope,
but
Ito's
they
got
both have
4 more
44.
max.
Oh, huh. On Twitch, it was on the Twitch integration. It was saying that we both have 44. Weird.
Yeah, I've got 40.
Interesting.
The
Cool, your turn.
Twitch integration is
Weird. Yeah, it
40.
does have Valerian as 44 on the Twitch integration.
It's kind of funny though, because we're just trading opportunity attacks at this point. Because he stepped away and he
Yeah.
got opportunity attack, and then you're gonna step in and he's gonna opportunity attack. So it's just trading action
So
economy.
now, have you stepped to the point where I am still in your reach, or
No, I stepped out so that you have to come into my reach so I can stab you on the way in.
yeah, no, I'm not stepping into your reach. Ito's gonna drop his Ikawa and pull out a spear and start chucking.
Nice.
That'll be a 17. That's not gonna hit, and
Yeah.
he's gonna back up 30 feet.
Ooh, that's pretty crafty. So we started 10 feet apart. You went 30 feet, so we're 40 feet apart, right?
You were 15 feet apart if you were out of range.
You're right. So we're 45 feet apart. Okay. All right. And that's all.
Yeah, that's all from me, I think.
Fivey doesn't have the charge action anymore, right? That's gone the way of the wind unless you have that feat.
It's part of a feat.
I forgot I have this whole channel divinity thing, but I forgot what that is. Oh yeah, I can make you make a wisdom save again. All right, so I'm gonna walk up 35 feet because I can move a little faster than normal. Actually, I guess I will move 30 feet exactly though, because I want you to be a little bit out of range. And then I'm going to use my channel divinity conquering presence. So he has on his left uh, arm is his holy symbol, and so he'll raise his spear up, and then he'll like growl menacingly at you again, but not the same roar that he did. The one before was like his own innate Leonin roar, just like a big lion roar. Like think of it, what was it? Is it MGM, the lion on MGM that makes the roar, something like that. But he's calling upon the strength of Zuklodon to try and make you cower in fear. So you have to make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of me for 1 minute. And you can repeat the throw at the end of every turn. All
That's
right, so
a
you
12.
fail. So you're scared of
Aw.
me. I approach even closer now since I see that you're scared of me and you cannot approach me. So I will come to within 10 feet of you. But I don't have anything to do with my bonus action unless I want to use a spell, which I don't think I want to do. Here's a kind of funny thing, Insanity. So I have a spell called the Compelled Duel, which I'm not going to use. But if I ever used it on something that was afraid of me, what would happen? I guess it doesn't make them. It doesn't make them approach me, so never mind. I end my turn.
Okay, so Ito, you said 10 feet away? Perfect. He's still checking spears, even with disadvantage.
All right.
25 to hit
You
with
hit a
disadvantage.
25 with disadvantage. What is that? All
Rolled
right,
a
that
19
hit.
and an 18.
I know. I see that. This is Ito's superpower. He just needs to have a disadvantage all the
There's
time.
that'll be 6 damage. And another concentration check.
All right. Concentration check. Go. Made it. Barely.
And I get another whiz save at the end of my turn, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 11. Wow. Okay.
All right. So Valerian sees that you're a little scared here, and he smiles and he comes up. And Ore, I would assume that you're probably not sure how you feel about this, because Valerian has now used 2 attempts to try and make Ito scared of him, and you know Ito very well. And Valerian seems even more happy, like almost sadistically so, that Ito is scared of him. And then he comes up and he just starts wailing on him with his glaive.
Ore's just watching. He is keeping a little bit of distance, but watching very closely to all the combat.
So
No
that was a
expression
12,
on
which
his
is
face.
definitely a miss, and an 11. So,
So I think the flavor there is just as Ito started getting scared, he thought back to his days as a gladiator fighting foes much larger than himself, and he fell into his old habit of just dodge and weave until you have an opening.
I would really like to roll higher than a 10 sometime. I'm done. I am how close to you? 10 feet away from you. So you're not close enough for you to attack me, but I can attack you, and you can't approach me. So you have to throw a spear at me, I guess,
Yeah.
with
I'll
double
throw
disadvantage.
yeah, I'll throw another spear. Technically speaking, I could use my whip, but it's actually less damage and still dis. Chucking more spears. That's going to be a 20 to hit with disadvantage.
Man, all right. Now Valerian's just getting a little miffed.
Six more damage.
That's crazy.
And another concentration.
That's gonna be a fail. The spell was
Yes.
like over halfway done, anyways. So
And
the
another
reddish
wisdom
shield
save.
drops. Yeah, another wisdom save.
Another 12.
All right, so Valerian will grunt in frustration seeing all this stuff happening, because this is not how the battle should go at this point when he has the upper hand. And then he will attack you. When they're frightened, they only have disadvantage against you, right? You don't have advantage against them.
Correct.
All right, that should hit 23
Yeah, that'll hit. I'm going to
for
give a
10
preemptive
damage.
ouch.
And so this time, again, Ori's watching, but Valerian is pretty frustrated, and he slashes with a spear. And Ori will notice this is not non-lethal damage. This actually slashes Ito. And at that point, Valerian will hit him with the butt of his spear. Since it
Also,
was
the first one is reduced by 3 by heavy armor.
okay, so it was 7. Then this one will be a 23 to hit.
Also hits.
And it will be a 5.
Minus 3, so 2.
Okay, and then so Valerian hits Ito kind of in the side, and then kind of comes to and realizes for a second, and looks around and sees Ori, and then he'll plant his spear, and he'll say to Ito, "Shall we call it a draw?"
Ito smiles. His eyes are darting and he is sweating, kind of, but at the same time, he is evidently used to fighting terrified. Um, so he is not really putting down his weapon. He's definitely still holding it ready. Um, and he tilts his head as if to leave it up to Valerian. Basically, I can still fight, but
Valerian will put his paw out to shake your hand.
Ito nods and drops the weapon. And I assume the fear ends at this point.
Yeah, the fear ends, and then Valerian will heal you. He seems a little off. He'll offer to heal you, and use Cure Wounds on you, if you'll accept.
Ito nods and does accept.
Alrighty.
So while they're walking back to the city, I'm gonna steal their food.
Totally fair. It's fair game.
Ore sees that Valerian heals Ito, and Ore will cast Cure Wounds on Valerian.
I only rolled a 5. I rolled a 1, continuing the trend of rolling as low as I can right now. But yeah, so he'll heal Ito, and he's pretty silent. I mean, he doesn't talk a lot normally, anyways, but he's pretty silent the rest of the night.
Ito, once he's kind of shaken that off, he's gonna pat Valerian on the back amicably, and basically just commend him on a well-fought duel.
All right. So for those of you that
Valerian, you get 9.
Thank you.
So for those of you that stayed at the Courageous Steed, you watch as Valerian and Ore and Ito walk outside. You hear the initiation of combat, and then you hear sirens, and then everything goes silent. Lint a little bit later, and then Counselor just goes, "Huh, they met the Blade Singers."
Blade singers?
Yes, our town guard here. They are several elven blade singers. They patrol the city and are very, very useful with their magics in ensuring the city stays safe.
So, did they just get put in timeout or something?
Possibly. I do not know what the guards did with them. It will depend on what they said when the guards stopped the fight.
So, how have you been? Has anything interesting happened in the last day and a half?
Well, I have to say, you are definitely the most interesting that my life has been in a very long time. You bring all sorts of stories with you every time, and new faces that apparently don't get along very well. Or get along too well. I could never tell with that type. I prefer those who study and keep to themselves.
I
Never
believe
been the fighter.
I believe the common term is like a house on fire.
He just gives you a puzzling look and he goes, I'm not familiar with that term.
Quick and a bit destructive.
Oh,
A very tense friendship. Woe be unto those nearby.
interesting. Well, our food should be arriving here in a minute or so. I don't know when your friends will be back. Especially, he was the one that asked for food, and he got up so willingly and left.
Depending on how long the rest of the party was waiting for food, Ito and Valerian will probably be coming back pretty quickly. Their whole fight was only like 2 minutes.
Yeah, your whole fight was about a minute in total. But walking back into the city is going to take you about 5 minutes to get back to the tavern. And by that point, the food will have arrived.
I like magical food. I wish I had to wait 6 minutes for my food to arrive.
It's called a microwave.
Magical food machine.
Being fair, a 6-second prestidigitation heats it, and another 6 seconds flavors it. So
Prestidigitation machines.
I cast fast food.
They also clean it when you drop it on the ground.
Ooh, nice. Does it do the dishes?
Yeah, sure. It cleans
Technically, it does. Yeah, it cleans stuff.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, man. Prestidigitation is a spell that you would want in real life because you're just like, oh, don't want to clean my room. Prestidigitation 12
Yeah.
times. Hey, it's all tidied up.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, especially when you were a kid, or if you have kids and they always go outside, play in the mud. You're just like, you can't come inside. Prestidigitation, clean them up. Yeah. Anyway, your food arrives. Mazeki, you are definitely able to steal as much of their food as you want before they come back.
He doesn't take all of it, but he definitely does take like a couple of bites, probably, of each one.
Okay. All right. And so the three of you arrive back in the tavern to see the other four just eating away and enjoying nice, pleasant conversation. You see that Ito and Valerian are still visibly beat up a bit, although a few of their wounds have been healed. They are still very much visibly in pain.
They are both, or at least Valerian, smiling and probably commiserating a little bit.
Yeah, Ito's definitely smiling. It's been a while since he's had a good duel.
Have fun tumbling in the mud.
Valerian will nod his head.
Yes, in fact, it was quite nice.
That's good.
I did not get the mud on me. And then Ore will sit down.
All right.
Valerian will eat his food without further fanfare.
You do see that there are a few bites that have been taken out of it.
He'll look around but not say anything.
And Ito, as you as well, as you look at your plate, it's very noticeable that a few bites of food have been taken.
He just kind of chuckles and assumes one of the others got extra hungry.
That do be how it do.
So, are you staying in the whole day, or are you leaving to get out on the road early?
I believe we should stay the night. And I look at both Ito and Valerian. They may need rest before they hit the road.
Yeah,
Are they going to battle the road as well?
I actually thought it was nighttime already.
No, no.
So, whoops.
Yeah, this was like you guys woke up in the morning and you teleported and then you got into a fight. It's
I wake
like
up in the morning, I go
yeah,
outside,
it's like
punch my
9
friend
a.m.
in the face.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, plenty of time for an 8-hour long rest then.
yeah, and 16 hours in town before you can long rest.
We should go shopping.
Let's do it.
We don't have any money. Oh, we can get
If
the things
Ito still has
identified.
a considerable amount of money.
We can get the potions identified, maybe.
I think I actually forgot to add Ito's money to his sheet.
Then he lost it. It's gone
When we
now.
were splitting up all that gold, it was
We got
700 each, yeah?
500.
500 each?
500 each.
A
'cause
thief
it was
came by and stole exactly that much money from you.
convenient.
I paid Valerian 500 gold for winning the duel. Or for smiting me so hard.
But yeah, we should go get the potions we have left that we don't know what they do because we forgot to ask. Get those identified at
At
least.
the shop that sells them. Come on.
Do we have to go get them identified at that shop?
No, I was just reminding you that you forgot to do it
Yeah.
at the shop that makes them.
We were excited about the history, and then we got into car dealership stuff.
And you didn't even
It was
ask about any of the history.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, you've got some potions that you need identified, and I think there was still a scroll that you guys hadn't figured out what it was?
Yes, there's one scroll.
So
There was a next roll that we didn't go over.
yeah, because there was Speak with Dead that that Alandiel looked at and identified, and then Mizeki looked at and identified Witch Bolt, and then there was a third scroll that no one knew what it was.
Right. This is from the basement in Kuche.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was at least one potion there, and there was probably some other potions that you guys have that you need identified. So you want to look for someone that can identify, or can you identify now? Anybody?
I lack a pearl, so I couldn't identify if I wanted to, but I don't have that spell.
I can detect magic, but not identify.
Okay.
There's magic in these parts. What does it do?
Yeah, ditto.
Okay, so you guys can detect magic but not identify. So you're looking for a shop with which you can go and identify.
Yes.
Okay. So there are a few general shops in Mint, and there is a small magic shop called the Mirage.
All right. Before we go inside, Mizeki's going to make it clear to everyone: we're not here to negotiate lower funds. We're here to do specific things.
Understood.
I think Ore or Elandiel have the actual scrolls at this point.
I don't think Ore does, or he would have
They're
looked at it at
they're in
some
the
point.
bag. Yeah, Elandiel has them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Elandil has them.
So Elandiel will pull it out, and the one that you haven't identified, he will ask Ore to look at, being the other spellcaster in the group.
Excuse you.
Because you already looked at them.
Already looked at it. The other spellcaster who hasn't looked.
Yeah.
And he'll be
Because
like, "Oh, where did we retrieve this?"
everybody but Ito is a spellcaster in this group. So, yeah.
Fighter supremacy.
Yep. And so, Ito, or not Ito, sorry, just had Ito,
Yeah, I look at it and immediately identify it just by being really good.
Ore, you look at it, and it is a scroll of Summon Beast.
I have seen this before. This is the spell to summon a beast.
It's almost like I gave you guys stuff to help you in the fight in the basement.
I feel like
What
I've
kind of
experienced
beast? Perhaps a
kind of beast
horse?
some-
What
I
would
don't think
Ori
it
know
lasts
what kind of
forever.
beast this summons, or is it? It's like a specific,
So
like
Oh,
the
it's
beast of the
it's
realm,
the
right?
bestial spirit summoning. It's from Tasha's.
correct.
Okay, yeah, I know what
Yes.
it is. A
So,
bestial spirit uses a special stat block. You pick which kind it is:
yeah, air, land,
air,
water.
land, or water.
And it has different things based on that. But its attack is your spell attack modifier, air, and does 1d8 plus 4 plus the spell level. So it is a second level spell scroll, and it's a plus 5. So,
Nice.
for keeping that in mind.
Gotcha. So it was. I apologize. The name of the spell is Summon Beast
Yes.
Yes.
or Beast Spirit.
Summon Beast.
Summon beast.
Summon
It
Beast.
makes a bestial spirit.
Yeah. So it's not like
Gotcha. Okay.
conjure animals or anything like that. So,
Cool.
And that's nice because usually it costs 200 gold.
Yep.
Well, you don't destroy the acorn, I guess, but
So, all right. So, you are you going to the Mirage to identify your potions?
that is the
I
plan.
would, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, inside the Mirage, there is a half elf behind the counter, or who is just going about their business as you enter in, and you see that he is tinkering around with a set of plate armor. Doesn't seem to notice as you come in the door.
Ito has immediately forgotten what the group said and is looking for magic shields or armor, if that is a thing.
Okay, yeah. So looking around the shop, there is all sorts of weapons and armor and shields on the walls and on different mannequins around this small shop.
Are there price tags on anything?
No, there is not.
That's gonna hurt.
All right. So the half elf, he continues just working on this set of plate armor, and eventually you hear him just kind of give a big old in frustration, and he throws the plate armor to the ground, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, apologies. I did not know that you came in. Uh, my name is Matthew. What can I do for you today?" And you see that he's a fairly old half elf. You'd put him in his early hundreds. It's as your best estimate. He's got very graying hair going up and tied into a warrior's knot at the top of his head. Well, don't all speak at once.
Valerian will look to the others because he has no clue why we're here.
Ito's just gonna start asking about prices on several different items at once.
Okay. So
Probably every single shield and suit of armor he can find,
okay.
preferably heavy armor.
So you start asking around about the different things. The first shield that you point to just has this emblazoned eye on it, and it's just made from very tough metal. Oh, and as you ask about it, he goes, "Ah, yes, the Sentinel shield. That one will run you 350 gold."
Ito shakes his head and continues looking.
As you come around and you point to the next one, and he goes, "Ah, yes, that shield is enchanted with a bit of extra protection. That one will cost you 500 gold."
Ito pauses for a second and he's just looking at it. Is there any like very obviously super rare shield in here?
No, there's none that are super obvious. They all look to be about the same kind of quality.
Okay. So he is going to nod and just take a moment to decide on whether he wants to take this shield while everyone else is doing their thing.
Valerian's thing is quite literally just like standing there and watching everybody because he doesn't know why we're here. I mean, he heard them talking about the potions, but he doesn't have the context, so he's just kind of like standing there like the impatient dad of the store. He's like, "What are we doing here?"
Jorge is gonna speak up. We came to have a few items identified. I apologize. I was taken in by the grandistry of your shop. And he looks to Alondiel. Can we see the potions we were looking to get identified?
Yeah, Alondiel will pull out the potions. I don't know what potions you're looking to get identified, so you
That we
guys
have a
will have
potion
to
to get identified.
pull that from your notes of what they are, what they look like. Because I don't know which ones you already had identified by yourselves or not. So, but yeah, Alondiel will pull out whatever you need because he knows, I'm sure. But
I do not recall off the top of my head what potion descriptions we had. Was there silver, right, from the basement?
you've picked up potions in a few different places. Says, and I know you sold some already that you had identified, and so I didn't think there were many that you didn't know what they were.
The only one I think that we didn't have identified at that time was the one that we got from the basement. And I'm looking through my notes, and I unfortunately do not have potion descriptions for what was in the box because it
Uh,
wasn't me who opened the box.
right. So there were 3 potions in the box, and they all looked identical. 2 of them had the red star on them, or sorry, the black star on them, and one of them did not have a star on it that you could notice. But they were all that same red potion that you've been familiar with.
Okay, so there wasn't a different type of potion in that box. They all look like health
They
potions.
all smell like health potions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm still looking through my notes to see if treasure wise, but I thought we had everything else identified as I was aware.
Right, yeah, because Mazeki was the one that found those potions, gave one to Ito that session, and so there's 2 left. One with the black star, and then one that you don't see a star on. And yeah, looks like they're
Cool.
talking about it in Discord. So
Let's identify those 2 potions you mentioned. Even if we already know them, let's save face with the shopkeeper and have them identify them again.
and,
Unless he's going to charge us money.
oh yeah, it is. It is 25 gold per item to be identified.
So it's probably
Uh,
that awkward moment. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
I was just gonna say maybe we should just double check that that one is a healing potion and not like a poison or something, because that'd be a bad thing to get mixed up.
It's probably that awkward moment where everyone's looking at each other like, "You have potions to identify? Well, I don't have potions to identify. I'm good. Do you have potions to identify?"
When you say Ito had a potion, do you mean one of the healing potions that I very definitely have already used?
Yeah, like it was given to you to,
Okay.
like it was administered to you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Glad that one wasn't poison.
No, I'm pretty sure that one was marked.
That was one of the ones with the black star on it, yeah. And so Matthew was just standing there as you're all just having this discussion. He goes, "You can always come back later when you decide what you would like to do."
Ito nods and asks to just buy the shield while he's here.
He goes, "Yes, which shield would you like to buy?"
Um, he'll go for that second one he was shown.
Okay, so that's 500 gold. Do you have 500 gold?
Yes, because I just remembered the 500 gold I was supposed to have in my inventory.
Oh, because you didn't buy anything in between sessions.
Yeah, because I didn't do anything with the 500 gold.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that is just a +1 shield.
Perfect. Note, I am not getting rid of the old shield.
Dual wield shields.
I'll look to Matthew. Is there a way to determine the location of the other half of a sending zone set?
No, not directly. You could always just ask whoever's on the other side where they're at. If it has no current owner, you'll know.
Understood. Thank you.
So just the shield for you all today.
Is there anything that would have caught Ore's eye as outstanding in this shop?
What would Ore find outstanding?
Probably star motif items.
No, there's nothing star motif in
uh,
here.
yeah, then he'd probably be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I showed that all the other magic items that we had were identified at another magical shop.
Shall we hit the road in pursuit of this shadow? No, not shadow. Harrington.
Seems like a plan.
Yes, we should maybe get rooms for the evening and then head out in the morning.
Valerian will look at the sky. It's like not even noon yet.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Let us be off.
And Ito's nodding along with this. He doesn't really seem to mind that they're leaving without taking a rest first.
Or we'll kind of go to raise his hand a little bit, looking at the both of you. Uh, um, if you feel up to it, then sure.
Let us just take a quick rest. This isn't my voice, but I'm using it anyway. Let us take a quick rest and then be on the road. I'm assuming shopping probably counts for part of that because we're just like standing around looking at stuff.
Yeah, just light
How far is
activity.
How far is the next town from here?
The next large town?
Like the next small town. We're going to make someplace to stay by
Yeah, like our next
nightfall.
waypoint.
Is there someplace?
Yeah. So there are small little towns off of the road every few days, mostly of farmers along this area. Your next major city is Zundare, which is right at the base of the mountain, and that is 2 weeks.
Should we acquire horses or a carriage to expedite our journey?
And
Not
some
only is he a war machine, but he's intelligent. Valerian will crack a wry smile. That was a joke.
Or I will
Unfortunately,
just like dead eye look at you, and the iris is open real wide.
Valerian has given Davi a compliment.
Ito, unfortunately, has just spent all of his money. So, someone else is gonna have to pay for a horse for him, if we're doing that.
Can we not
We have barter
commandeer
funds.
something for our mission?
We can request. We are not currently actively at war, and so commandeering is not particularly a part of our methods.
Let us request.
We would like
Where
to
is that
see-
glimmer eye?
You're just making up words now.
He'll cost Glimming Hand.
Yeah, that one.
He was in the town hall. We do also have funds for acquisition as necessary.
Oh, was that a question
How
for
much do we
Valerian?
have left No, that was just like letting you know. Like we have funds for acquiring things as we needed to. Who has the party funds? Who's recording that? Is it
It's a
Mazeki?
Londiel.
Londiel,
It's
of
Alondio,
course.
yeah.
Let's see here if he's got notes on his character sheet or if they are.
The party fund was pretty low because we bought those potions last time.
Yeah,
So I
because you
think the party
bought a
fund only
bunch.
has like 10 or 20 gold in it now.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if he put notes in his D&D Beyond character sheet, and it doesn't look like he did as far as that goes. Maybe. Oh yes, here we go. Group funds currently has 59 gold, 23 silver, 12 copper. But there are
And
some gems as well that Alondiel has, so I don't know if you guys want to sell him. He probably, I don't know that he would, but he's got 4 diamonds worth 50 gold each.
Are the diamonds not for like Revivify or something?
I mean, that's probably why he's holding on to them. He can't
Yeah,
cast that
that's
yet,
my
though.
guess.
Yeah, I think they are.
And then he's got 3 rubies worth 50 gold, which that again could also be for some kind of spell. And then just 10 gems worth 5 gold each. And those aren't
Yeah.
specified,
Or
so
I still have that emerald for 250 gold, which is just in my possession.
So can we go inquire how much it would cost to get like a carriage and a team for our journey?
yeah.
Or if we can get some council hookups to get for free?
So a carriage is 100 gold, and draft horses are 50 gold each.
And is that to rent them or to purchase them?
That is to
at
purchase
wholesale?
them. So you would need 2 draft horses per carriage, so that would be 200 per carriage.
Is there a service like that you could rent or hire a carriage for transport?
Yeah, so you could hire transport for the trip. This trip would cost you 5 gold a person.
Let's do it.
Much reasonable.
Yes, but
What
you
what
go
kind
at
of
their pace. So
what kind of transportation is it? Just like a team or just like with a caravan or something?
yeah, so you're just part of a caravan that goes up. They have several carriages that go up and down.
Any way we could give them a tip and get them to hurry up a little?
No.
I mean, just saying.
I mean, they
Can
can
we
only
at
go
least
so fast because horses need the brakes. So
can we negotiate with them a better price since we'll be providing protection?
you can try.
Let's do that.
Valerian tries.
Okay.
Or it will assist.
So you're gonna go find the service, 5 gold a person. In charge of it is just this human with jet black hair that he has tied into a ponytail, and he just wears like these bright purple robes. As you come up, he goes, "Ah, travelers, where are you headed?"
Zunder.
Zunder. All right, we're headed towards the mountains. Very well. We have a caravan leaving in about 3 hours for Zunder.
Perfect. What is your wage?
You mean what is our cost?
Yes.
It will cost you 5 gold a person.
If we were to, and he will stand up to his full height and motion to Ito, and he is almost 7 feet tall, uh, and he has like giant glaive on his back. He's like, if we were to provide assistance in protecting the caravan, could we get some sort of discount?
Make a persuasion check.
14. Although Ori said he was assisting. Can I get advantage or no?
Yeah.
Or he's like, yo, you should listen.
14.
All right.
Wait, could I help? Could I be
That
like behind them?
no,
You
that
don't
would
know
only
that we've
give
already helped.
advantage, and so
Oh,
it's already
poo.
been
Oh well.
done. All right. So he looks you up and down. And he goes, "We've already got guards hired for this caravan. If you want to be guards, we could definitely use more, but you'll have to wait for the next caravan."
As a player, I totally dislike this, but as a character, this is what's happening. Valerian slams his fist down on the table, and now he's going to try to make an intimidation check. And he says, "You misunderstand us, sir. We are in the service of the army of Utra with the utmost mission of importance."
Ito is just gonna kind of put one hand on Valerian's shoulder and start pulling gently backwards.
All right. Go ahead and make your intimidation check.
20.
20. He looks at you for a moment, and you can see like the fear rush all over his face. As Ito kind of grabs you and pulls you back, you see a bit of relief go, and he goes, "I fine, 4 gold a person, but who are your superiors? I must let them know of this encounter."
Valerian smiles and gives him the name of his superior, who there's no love lost between the two of them.
He goes, "I will be seeking the rest of the compensation from the army of Utra." So
Valerian smiles even more and says, "Seek all of the compensation from them."
he goes, "I could, but you would wait until I receive the payment."
He growls a little bit, pays the guy 4 gold.
So it's
After,
just
after
you
Valerian,
going then.
after Valerian
No,
pays the 4 gold for him, I put out the money for the rest of us, 4 gold each. So what is that? Five more? 5 more people at
So
four
yeah,
gold?
20.
20. Okay.
So I'm noting this down to 39 GP. I made a thread.
I can edit Alondiel's sheet to.
That's fine too, but this way the rest of us can see it. If people can add general resources into that thread, it'd be nice too.
Okay.
Like the fact that we have random potions and stuff.
All right. Alondiel sketches the scene of the intimidation.
I can envision right now, just like the back of Valerian and his fists on the table and his mouth open.
He gets a side profile view of it.
Poor caravan guy.
But, and so you have 3 hours until the caravan is leaving, that you may do with
Valerian's
what you wish in the city.
Valerian's gonna take a nap.
All right. Anybody else?
So we've got a couple shops. What else is there in town? Anything interesting, noteworthy?
So the most interesting and noteworthy thing in Mint is the Mint, what the city gets its name for. So all of the coins that are used throughout the entire continent are manufactured here in Mint. So gold is mined up in the mountains of the Hand of God, as well as in the mountains of Haplarini's wound. And it is all brought down to Mint, where it is refined and turned into the currency.
Okay, so does the Mint offer like a tour or a talk or anything?
They do not have a tour, but they do accept raw, uh, raw materials to be turned into coin, and they will pay you in the equivalent coin.
Do we have any metals or anything metallic we don't need?
Ito has coins from his area of the world that they would convert. So they would take them and melt them down. So, because Ito's already gotten a few questioning about it. I don't know how much of that gold coin he has left, though.
Um, he wants to keep at least a couple from where he was, but he'll definitely have the others converted.
Yeah. But, if you ever find um, gold that you want converted, this is the place to come. And so, just be aware when I say gold pieces versus pieces of gold. Because gold pieces are the coins, but anything else is raw material. So, especially since you're
Gotcha.
getting ready to head into the mountains.
There be
Okay.
gold in them hills.
Well, if we find any particularly shiny rocks, but I'll go with Ito just because, hey, it's money. Money is sort of interesting, and I might
Yeah,
as well do something.
right. And you've passed through here before, as you were initially traveling from the wild up to Drusus. And you saw their process of how they heat the gold, and they actually use magic where they have just several casters that are there using gusts of wind to constantly keep the top layer of the molds cool to help them come down in temperature faster and set from the molten liquid that they are used before they're poured into the molds.
Yeah, I'd probably just see if I can watch that.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds fascinating.
Yeah, so it's just this massive window essentially that you get to look inside, and you can see the whole process of where gold is being loaded onto a conveyor belt and dumped into a furnace. And this is where it is melted down, and you watch as different workers come in, and they use big old metal tongs to reach in and grab out the things and pour them into the molds of the different coins. And as spellcasters are doing their thing to have wind constantly blowing over to keep cycling the air to help it cool down faster, or you watch as the conveyor belts continue going down and a large machine comes down and essentially stamps them to give them the signature of the city of Mint.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, can we ask if Ito trades them some of his coins of gold? If we can watch them like go through the passage.
Watch his coins go through the passage.
Yeah, like watch them be turned into mint coins.
Yeah, I mean, you see that process as it is. All they will do with his gold coins is throw them onto the conveyor belt, and they will go
It's,
through and into the furnace.
it's more fun when they make your donut, though.
Right.
Truth.
So, right, those won't be the coins that he will get because he will be. It will just be a straight up exchange. Like when he
That's
hands them their coins, they will hand him coins from Mint immediately. So it's not your coins that you're watching, but
We can lie to Ito later.
Yeah,
Ito's right there.
out of
That's
character, I'm kind of curious about whether whether they've seen these types of coins before, because like most people wouldn't have, but they're literally in a mint. But at the same time, Ito wouldn't think to ask.
Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Ore is going to try and see if they will exchange his emerald, how much he can get for it.
They just kind of stare at you and they go, we don't deal with gems. We deal with metals. So if you've got gold or silver, copper, or platinum that you need converted into coin, that's what we do here. If you want to sell stuff, I suggest that you check out the shops in town.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, so they're not a bank; they're a mint. So,
Right.
all right. Is there anything else you're all wanting to do in town?
Just exchange that, or get a quote on the price for exchanging that emerald, and that's the only other thing that Ore can think of.
Okay. So the emerald you said was worth 250 gold.
Yep. This is the
Okay,
one that I found in the, I guess, storage closet at the null base.
right. So the shop will offer you 150 gold for it.
Ore's going to hang on to it.
Okay.
Do you want to try to negotiate, Ore?
Ore's not really good at negotiating and doesn't really quite understand the concept. He just feels it's worth more than 150 gold.
Having seen Ore misuse our coin, and if his backup plan is to hold on to it, Mizeki will try to negotiate on his behalf.
Okay.
Yeah, Ore has no charisma.
Yeah. So yeah, you just see
Persuasion.
Ore pull out this emerald, and
Yeah.
the human behind it offers 150 gold, and Ore just says, no, and begins to walk away.
Mizeki
Before
will be like,
walking away, I'm pocketing it back in my
yeah.
package, my
Mizeki will be
bag.
like, hold on just a moment. Let's talk about this, sir. I believe that this could be worth more, but I only got 11, so it's not going to matter.
And he goes, it could be worth more, but remember, I'm a shop. I've got to make a profit too.
Fair. Have a great day. Goodbye.
And we're off.
All right. If there's nothing else that you all wish to do, the 3 hours will go by. Any of you that want a short rest have plenty of time to get it in that time. And you'll meet up with
Yes.
the caravan to begin heading out towards Zundare.
Ito, we should spend some hit die, bro.
Say again?
We should spend some of our hit dice while we rest.
Yeah, probably.
With the discussion of items worth trade and value, Ore's going to kind of go through the rest of his bag, discover he had a sampler of Knoll food that has long since expired, and he's just going to disregard that as rubbish and get rid of it out of his inventory.
Okay. All right. So the caravan consists of 5 carriages. Each has an occupancy of 5 occupants, and has a driver as well. The caravan that you are assigned to with your group, the driver is a goblin who introduces himself in very broken common as Broken Knuckle.
I love him. We must protect the goblin. Cool. I don't know how physics works because I'm a medium creature, and wizards just sort of ignored that.
Yeah, so, well, only 5 of you get assigned to that, so Alandiel's going to be in a different caravan, but the 5 of you are able to fit in the carriage fairly comfortable because you are all medium-sized creatures.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm just gonna curl up in my spot and take a nap.
Okay.
Very peaceful with the carriage kind of swaying.
All right. So you guys continue on down the way, making your way towards the Zundare, or the 5 carriages in tow. As the sun begins to set, the carriages head off the road and circle up to create a campsite. The drivers get up, go in, start setting up a campfire, and all of the occupants just kind of come out, sit out by their respective caravans.
Why have we stopped so early?
Because the sun has
Mizek-
gone down.
Miseki's gonna disassociate himself with Valerian around the camp. just in general.
I envision Valerian asking that and everyone just kind of ignoring him. That's the thing going on in my head.
And a broken knuckle responds to you, in his broken common. I mean, he's like, "Because the sun's gone down. It's time to camp."
Ori will volunteer to kind of keep watch as part of his sentry's rest.
All right. So one of the carriages in particular has a group of people that are very well armored, and you suppose that this is the guards that the salesman was telling you about beforehand. Among them is a orc named Brun, a satyr named Emos, an elf named Virhorn, a dwarf named Torak, and a furbolg named Inali.
Inali?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see it.
That sounds like a really cool group of people. These are in another one of the carriages, or are these just general group?
So they all came out of the same carriage, Ridge, but they're
Okay.
definitely well armored and weapons that they stand out enough from the rest of them, which look like just pretty much commoners that are traveling from Mint to Zundare. There are elves and dwarfs, humans, and halflings amongst the group. You assume that the dwarfs are possibly returning home. Everybody else may be just going up to visit. It's fairly unclear from the rest of the group.
So
But
what you're saying is a cooler group of adventurers has gotten out of one of the other carriages.
sure. I mean, they're guards, they're not adventurers, but sure.
I mean, at this point, what's the difference?
I don't know. There's 14 other people for you to go meet, though. Well, and then plus the other 4 drivers, so 18 more people for you to go meet.
I feel like
I think in our case,
Yeah.
I think in our case, the difference between adventure and guard is we are much more likely to initiate the slaughter.
I don't want to consider that. I want to talk to the furbolg
Okay.
because that's the thing that you probably don't see a ton of.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. So Inali, she has a very light gray fur, and her hair is a shade of violet that is spiked up in all kinds of different directions. She has a green robe that looks like it is moss.
So, I mean, first off, immediately compliment the hair. You're is that a natural color? How do you get that to stay like that? That's amazing.
She pauses and looks, and she goes, "Oh, a centaur. We don't get many of you here. You tend to stay out in Utra's desert. Yes, the hair is natural color, and it takes a lot of product to get it to stay up all spiky."
impressive. I have not seen many furbolgs before. I guess
Yes.
it makes sense. I'm just leaving my homelands.
We tend to prefer out in nature where the trees grow. Forests are most common where you will find us, but we venture out into various different places. Not too much into the desert ourselves, though.
I am quite enjoying traveling away from the deserts, though I do miss it on occasion. Anywhere particularly interesting in the woods or other wilds you've been lately?
Oh, well, I originally hail from the Joy of Trees up near Drusus. Have you ever been?
I've been nearby, but I did not get a chance to go in.
It's quite the place. I've been away for, and she starts counting on her fingers. 10 years. Oh, I did not realize it had been so long. I should return soon. I am sorry. What was your name?
Sorry, I was dying for a second there. I am Mazeki.
Well, it is nice to meet you, Mizeki. I was told that we were the only guards on this trip, but you definitely look well equipped.
We are traveling on behalf of the council and have a very enthusiastic leader. He
Yes.
kind of wiggles his head towards the lion man, who's probably making a mess of himself at this point.
Huh.
He's actually headed this way with
I've
purpose.
I've never met anybody on council business before. What is it that you do for
Ito,
them?
notably, Ito is following Valerian at a safe distance.
Honestly, at this point, quite a lot of walking around and delivering messages. More than you would expect. But
Well armed for
investigation and
messengers.
travel. The messages themselves can be quite important.
Very well.
And sometimes the people we are bringing them to don't want to receive them.
So what council business do they have up in Zander? And where is Councillor Gleaming Hand?
The business is actually in the lands beyond Zunder. And I believe Gleaming Hand is still in. Was he in Mint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
left from Mint.
he's still in Mint. We just saw him recently. We had lunch, actually. Breakfast?
Breakfast.
Lunch? Brunch.
Yeah.
Food.
She looks at you for a moment. She goes, "So you're not on business for Councillor Gleaming Hand, but you travel
No,
through these lands.
that
Beyond,
is correct.
are you heading to the dwarfs? Is their counselor who called you?"
In a way, yes.
Oh,
When convenient, Valerian would like to enter near the scene.
yeah. You can enter in and interrupt at any point during this.
So he'll walk up from behind Mizeki, and then when she asks that question, he'll put forth his paw in like a greeting gesture and say, "Sergeant Wildfang, I see you've met my compatriot here, Mizeki. He is a fine with the blade and the bow, I hear." And he'll pat Mizeki on the back, and then he'll continue on. We are here to help with guard duty. How may we be of assistance?
She looks at you and she goes, "Wildfang, it's nice to meet you. We were told that we would be the only guards on this trip, so your services aren't needed as far as I am aware. But
I would suggest giving him a job to do.
Uh,
And he will say this kind of
Ito,
aside, like a
Ito
hey,
behind, yeah, Ito behind Valerian is nodding along with what Mazeki is saying.
perhaps patrolling the outer edges of the camp. Always an important duty.
Valerian will look directly at Mizeki and snort, but he won't say anything in front of our friend.
and Inali just looks at you and goes, well, it's not my position to give orders. I generally take them. But if you would like something to do, I am sure it wouldn't hurt to make sure that there is nobody too near our campsite who should not be here.
So when she says that she's accustomed to taking orders, it's like a light bulb goes off in Valerian's head, and he turns to her and he goes, "Ah, I see I've been mistaken. Where is your commanding officer?"
She looks at you and she goes, Officer? I mean, we're just hired guards. The caravan leader is over there, and she points at this uh, silver dragonborn.
All right, Valerian will go march off in his direction and ask for orders, basically.
All right.
Ito, meanwhile, is just kind of mouthing a vague apology at this poor person, and then immediately following Valerian at perhaps less of a distance this time.
All right.
You are now Valerian's aide de camp. Congratulations.
You have selected the position yourself.
He just goes around following him. I'm so sorry.
So as you approach the silver dragonborn, he turns and he's dressed in very dark clothes, and he just kind of turns as you come over, and he goes, "Is there something that I can do for you?"
He will greet the Dragonborn again. Greetings. I've been told that you are the leader here.
Yes, I am Elman Workrin, and I am the caravan leader. I am in charge of this caravan.
Ah, Sergeant Valerian Wildfang. Pleasure to meet you. When we signed up for this duty, we were told that we could help guard the caravan. I've just met with your guards, and they have said something to the line of that there are no duties for me to fulfill. But as you can see, myself and he'll motion to Ito and my compatriots are more than well equipped to aid in the protection of this caravan.
Ito, again, is just mouthing, please find him something to do.
And he'll take a moment to look you up and down. And he goes, "Well, I already have my guards for this trip, but I guess extra protection doesn't hurt. What brings you here?"
We are on official business from the council.
"And you joined our caravan? Did they not provide transport for you?"
Indeed, it is an outrage.
Mazeki's just gonna talk to the nice for bulk.
And he gives you
a
just
random
this strange look, like he doesn't quite believe what you're saying. And he goes, "Well, if you want, you can help patrol the camp at night, make sure that everyone is staying safe. But let me be clear, you are not hired. You will not be paid for this journey."
Yes, I understand. and he'll go off to patrol.
Technically, we were paid with our discount.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that you guys got a discount.
And also, the
Zeki is
discount
not
only
going on
lasts.
patrol.
The discount only lasts until so and so goes back and asks the CO for money.
Yep.
Then that's the CO's problem at that point, isn't it?
We're gonna start a high-level JAG investigation.
The question is, how quickly does it become Valerian's
Valerian
problem?
goes back and he's court-martialed.
We're
Abuse
fighting the
of
big bad
power.
evil guy, and he's just taken to jail.
Right. Okay. So, Mizeki is talking to the Furbolg. Is there anybody else that you're wanting to talk to on this first night?
Does nobody want to talk to anyone?
Or I would probably move around the camp, just kind of, hello, my name is Bruce, and just kind of introduce him to people and see if anybody starts a conversation back.
You get mostly peculiar looks from people as they're not sure what to make of you. But no one seems to stop and engage you in any conversation.
Are there any races Ore hasn't seen here of any unique races that Ore had probably not interfered with before? I'm sure there's no other forge in the caravan, right?
There are no other forged in this caravan.
There's a seed here.
You haven't really interacted much with goblins, and so your driver would probably be the most unique. And then there is a fire genasi, as well as an air genasi in one of the caravans.
Is the fire genasi a girl?
No.
Darn. I had a really cool picture.
What are the two genasi wearing?
So they are just wearing basic clothes, very much commoner clothes.
So not like any kind of trades people on either of those.
Correct.
We don't talk to poor people.
Right, but I mean, if they were tradesmen of some kind, that might be something that Ore would be interested in,
What
like
about the
having a
dwarf?
discussion with them on their trades.
There's our driver, the goblin, and then there's that dwarf in the group.
I'd just like to edge a little closer to the cooking fire and maybe strike up a conversation with whoever's doing the cooking and hopefully get them to let me have my meat a bit early.
Everybody is handling their own cooking.
Yeah, we'll do our own cooking. You have rations. Sorry.
Dang it.
Ito does spend a moment trying to warm up his rations over his ever-burning torch before remembering, no, it's not warm.
It's just light.
Mizeki will help warm with prestidigitation.
I could just create bonfire for you, but sure, do that.
Have you ever cooked a
Please-
ration on a bonfire?
Yeah.
Please tell me that Mizeki uses prestidigitation before Ito takes away the torch, so that he is fully convinced that it did in
Yes.
fact cook it.
He would 100%. That is something he would do, yes. I got a 22 on deception, too.
Okay.
You're
Perfect.
convinced.
I think that would more be sleight of hand to cast the spell without him knowing, though.
I can be 10 feet away, though, so I'm pretending that I'm not casting it towards him.
Yeah,
It's
it's still more sleight
literally-
of hand to
Yeah, okay,
hide your.
16?
Okay. What's
Ito's too busy.
Ito's passive perception is less than that, so yeah.
Yeah.
So Ito doesn't notice that you cast a spell.
Excellent. I convince Ito that his torch burns things.
Heats things.
Bless his heart.
Heats, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, if no one else wants to interact with anybody, we'll go ahead and move on to our next day. So as the sun comes up, the drivers are getting the horses attached to the carriages and are starting to go around and wake everybody to load you up into the carriages and head out for the day.
Can we take our long rest?
You may take your long rest.
Huzzah!
You continue traveling on for the next day. Is there anybody that you're wanting to interact with during the evenings of this travel?
I want to talk to the goblin and the dwarf.
Okay. All right. So the next night, as you camp around, Mizeki, you'll have your opportunity to talk. Who do you want to approach first? Broken Knuckle, your driver, or the dwarf?
I feel like the dwarf because I can talk to the driver every day.
Okay.
But the dwarf might be busy because he's one of the guards.
All right, yeah. So the dwarf, his name is Torak Sternfist. He has a braided black beard, and he has cornrows for his hair pulled tight and dark skin. He is wearing a chain shirt and has a very large hammer that he keeps on his back.
Nice. He doesn't look like he does hugs, right?
He does
Kinda
not look
wary
like he
still.
does hugs.
Okay, good. A little wary. So just kind of go up to him and go, "Hail, mountain friend," and offer him some of the candy.
He
'Cause
looks
it's
at
delicious.
you. Do you understand Dwarvish?
No, I speak 3 languages, and one of them is an imaginary language called Thieves' Cant. So
Okay.
Can I come over and like kind of piggyback in on Mizeki's conversation?
Yeah, do you speak Dwarvish?
Actually, I do.
Okay. So you hear Torak swear and call Mizeki all sorts of different kinds of names. Uh, Mostly racist is what comes off, assuming that all dwarfs are from the mountains.
That's not very nice. He's just a centaur.
Yeah. But a racist is a racist, no matter what they are.
I have no idea what's going on because Sadzi's probably not speaking in a language I understand.
I'm assuming she replied in Dwarvish.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
she would do.
Can I tell him that he is a discredit to his race?
Who? Mizeki?
No, the guard.
You can.
Wow. Damn, that's rude.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be like, if you're a guard on a caravan with people of multiple races, it seems kind of disingenuous to actively disparage the people that you're supposed to protect.
Also, I didn't say he was from the mountain.
You called him Mountain Folk.
Friend.
Yeah.
Mountain friend.
Right.
We're going to the mountains.
So. And he goes, they don't get to insult me.
I'm gonna disguise myself as another centaur. Because that's all I can do.
I don't think that
And
he
exactly
knows what's going on yet, though.
Yeah.
what
He probably doesn't. I mean, he can tell probably that the guy's upset. Like, that's a basic.
well, then pray tell us exactly what he said that was so offensive.
As you overheard, he called me from the mountains. I am a proud hill dwarf. I do not live in the mountains.
Ah, in this case, let me apologize for my companion because he's honestly not well traveled. And I'm sorry that wasn't immediately apparent, but I'm sure he did not intend to offend. And I jab Mizeki with my elbow and be like, apologize! Just say you're sorry.
I am but a poor centaur who does not travel much.
And he
It's
goes,
not even a lie.
well, apparently you didn't get a good education either. Not all
To be
dwarves are
honest,
from the mountains.
fair. To be honest, the only ones I've ever met have been as they come down our river.
He goes, well, it's still ignorant to make assumptions based on how one looks, where they are from, what they are.
That's true. Would you like a piece of gem candy?
He scoffs. He goes, I told you, I am not from the mountains. I do not enjoy their candy that they make there.
Oh, fair. It's just sugar, though, isn't it?
It is sugar that they purposely go to make and look like the gems that they mine.
Oh, I did not know that.
You
Thank you
called it
for
gem
enlightening me.
candy. How
I
did you not
only,
understand that?
Like we said.
I am but a poor centaur.
So then, what kinds of candy is normal for those who come from the hills? 'Cause clearly, we haven't had much experience with those.
He goes, we make sweets using various herbs and flowers and berries from the nearby valleys.
I have not seen naturally growing herbs, flowers, and berries since I was born. Until I traveled.
He goes, you are a bizarre one. Where are you from that you do not see such growth?
The deserts of Utra.
He
He
goes,
kind of like indicates his clothing.
you could have gotten that where you were traveling. I did not make any assumptions about where you were from. So, would you like to come and visit sometime to the hills where the dwarfs are from?
That sounds amazing. I will probably need someone to help me not put my hoof in my mouth again.
He goes, I could potentially help you there.
New plan, team. We're going to the hills.
Wait, can we get there before we go to Harrington and all that, or would this be like a separate trip?
Are you asking that and saying that to him?
I guess the question in character would be, is it possible to reach this place before reaching the mountains on our current
Yeah.
path?
Would we be able to just take a quick little detour, or would this be like a we need to plan a separate trip?
He's like, you would most definitely need to plan a separate trip, because we are headed in the opposite direction in which we would need to go. The hills along the southern edge of the colossal river between Mint and Helena's Folly is where I make my home.
Well, I do know we have business further north, but we'll probably be coming back south at some point. Perhaps we could contact you then?
Well, depending on when you come back through, I may again be your guard. Although you probably don't need it, looking at your group.
Sometimes it's more about the journey than the protection you require.
He just kind of nods.
Now I want to visit the hill dwarves. They sound cool.
So, how is the hunting in your area?
We don't do a lot of hunting.
Ah, when I was in the wilds, I did a lot of hunting, so I've thought it might be interesting to see how other areas,
We have
different game.
many domesticated animals that we use for our meats, but several of us do not partake in such food.
So, more of a vegetarian cuisine then.
Indeed. But some of the best you'll ever have.
Do you guys roast mushrooms like meat?
Yeah?
I've always wanted to try that. It sounds really good.
He goes, that can be done. And he pulls out from his pack several mushrooms. And he pulls out his dagger and begins to chop them up into a little pan that he's got for cooking.
How does he not like sugar? If he eats berries and stuff. Maybe it's too sweet for him. That might make sense.
Well, and
Maybe
if you're not used to it.
Yeah, fair.
Unfortunately, I may have a bite, but I kind of have to eat meat.
Mhm.
Whole, obligate carnivore thing.
Right. And it's not that he doesn't like the sugar, it's that he doesn't like the gem candy. It's essentially
Like
like
cultural implication of.
yeah, it's like the mountain dwarfs flaunting their riches type deal is how they see
Oh,
it.
I'm supporting imperialism. My bad.
So, because they mine those gems and then they make candy to look like the gems that they mine, and so
So it'd be like handing out gold coins in like a poor town or something. Like chocolate gold coins.
yes,
Yeah, chocolate gold coin.
yes.
Wow, that's really rude. I feel bad now.
Yeah. You understand now why he swore at you up and down as soon as you said that and offered the candy.
Yeah. It's like going up and like giving someone a card for the British Museum in one of the countries where stuff has been stolen.
Most of them.
Come see the stuff we stole from you.
Yeah, you can visit it, but only between 9 and 5.
You gotta love the British. They conquered the world for spices.
I'm gonna just chill with this dude and eat the pieces of mushroom if he'll offer them.
Yeah. So he pulls out just like a little vial of oil and some salt and a few other dry seasonings.
Oh,
Um, and after they have cooked most of the moisture out, he scoops out the mushrooms, wipes the pan out really quick, and then adds the oil in just to fry them up and crisp them up a bit. And then seasons them with the various seasonings that he has, and then offers you some of them.
that is amazing. I will 100% eat that. See, we've tricked it so that now Insanity does the food descriptions for us. That's our secret.
Give me a Constitution save. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Were you trying to imitate my voice there, Rega, to make him believe you?
No, nope. I'm not that good at all.
So we're all still set up for camp for the
Yeah,
second night.
we're
Yeah,
in
this
camp.
is the
Yes.
second night, and
If
Mizeki is
anybody wants to
talking with
do
the
stuff,
dwarf.
go for it.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to the
Well,
dwarf and getting mushrooms.
are we camping? Is it plains here, or is it wooded area? What's the environment this two
Uh,
days outside of Mint?
So it is very much plains from Mint up to Zundare. There are a few rolling hills as you get closer to the mountains and it becomes rockier. And there are a few scattered trees, but it's not a forested area at all. It's very much plains land. Um, so think like the Midwest, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma.
Gotcha.
Oh
I'm
God,
gonna
why?
I'm gonna start kind of keeping my eyes open outside the edge of the camp for any type of game, any type of wild game, even if it's small,
Hmm.
like prairie critter game.
Yep. That is mostly what you will find is just the various prairie critters. So
Right. I figured something along those lines, but after hearing Sadzi like really wants meat, I'm gonna just start keeping my eyes out for anything that might be that would be considered meat for Sadzi. And if I
If
see
it
anything, I'm gonna
bleeds.
point it out to her.
I mean, lots of things bleed here. In fact, Ore is probably the only thing that doesn't bleed here.
Okay, something that bleeds and is generally considered a prey animal acceptable to eat.
I'm just imagining Ore like Terminator walking around shooting squirrels with guiding bolt.
Not a
Ori
lot of
bleeds. It's
squirrels
like deep
here,
on the inside. Deep on the inside.
but yeah. So like,
I
there's
figure like prairie dogs or coyotes
Yeah,
or
fair.
something like that.
yeah, it's more animals that burrow into the ground than
That
ones
makes
that
sense.
like make their nests in trees and things like that. Because there's just not a lot of trees around.
So
So
Ore
you'll
just guiding
find like
bolts.
rabbits and things like that, as well as yeah, prairie dogs and a few other of those kinds of creatures. All the things a cat would love to go and chase.
Sure, sure. And the moment I see any of those, I'm going to tap Sadzi on the shoulder and kind of point to it and like highlight it for her.
And when you point that out, I'm sure everybody's seen like some of the memes where the cat just gets enormous eyes. I do that and be like, I'll be right back.
All right.
And if I do happen to see any creatures like that, I'm going to cast sleep on it first.
Okay. I was gonna have Satsi make a survival check to hunt it down, but you put it to sleep, so Satsi can literally just walk right over and pick it up.
This does take a little bit of the fun out of it.
Suzzy doesn't
I
want to
will
now.
refrain from casting that next time and
No,
allow you to enjoy the hunt.
it's okay. I got a 13 on my survival check. You can keep casting that.
That's plenty enough to catch the wild game in this area. So, all right. Anybody else wanting to do anything? If not, we'll go ahead and move on to our next day along the road. You said
Let's
you're wanting to
go.
talk with your driver during the day, Mizeki. What are you wanting to ask Broken Knuckle?
Valerian had something, I think.
Oh, Valerian had something? I did not hear him.
Oh no, I was just saying let's go. But if you have something
Okay.
to ask, then go ahead.
No, I didn't hear what you'd said, so I didn't catch it. Okay, so yes, I just want to talk to Broken Knuckle. First off, how did he get a job driving the carriages?
So in his very broken common, he goes, "Me best driver in all tribe. Go to city and ask for job to make money for family in tribe at home."
Where is your tribe?
Uh, and he goes, "Tribe wander through the desert."
Wandering desert goblins.
Mizeki's found a friend.
I am also from the desert. Do you know the big cities?
Yeah, we avoid the city 'cause some don't like us.
I can imagine that is true. I am from the city in the middle.
Ah, we no go there.
I don't know what to talk about now. What's your favorite food? Do you want any gem candy?
So you offer the candy, and he grabs it, sniffs
Nice.
it a bit, sticks his tongue out, licks it, and then like as soon as his tongue touches the candy, you see like this big old smile spread across his face, and he just shoves it into his mouth and begins chewing, and you see bits of the gem candy kind of flying out of his mouth.
I will also eat my gem candy aggressively.
And he goes, "Very tasty. Where you get
Oh,
it?"
the dwarves in the mountains have it. We
At
met some in the city.
at this, you
Oh,
see his eyes go big, and he go, "We headed mountains.
yes. We
Dwarfs
can
give
maybe
us
get
more."
more. I, if you ask nicely and give them money,
He go, "All my money need to go to family, though."
I will give you some money to give to your family and we will get some candy.
He goes, "You are very kind, mister."
No, but I appreciate it anyway.
You've only been kind to him, so that's his experience with you. So,
Yeah.
all right. As you continue on through the journey, the rest of the third day goes by uneventful. Anybody else that anybody's wanting to talk to in the camp? If not, we'll just kind of skip ahead.
Every night, Valerian dutifully goes and finds the leader of the camp, to the
And
point by
annoys.
now that he's probably exasperated of like, just go walk around the camp.
Yeah.
He just probably gives you on the second day just standing orders. Go patrol the edge of the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very important.
But then Valerian comes back and reports as part of the duty.
He just kind of nods and tells you to take notes and hand it in to him at the end of the trip on the third day after this. It's like, just write it all down and give it to me at the end of the trip.
Each night, Ora is going to be spending his sentry's rest just staring at the sky and really taking in the stars each night and kind of tracking them a bit.
I might make small talk with the dwarven guard if he doesn't look like he's particularly busy.
You definitely get the impression that he doesn't love the small talk, but he will answer questions occasionally as you come and talk to him.
Ito's probably just spending most of the time sleeping.
Okay. Plenty of time for that. You can just basically sleep in the carriage all day and then sleep in the camp all night. So the next few days go by uneventful. As you are reaching your halfway point, so on the seventh day of the journey, as the horses are all gathered up, and you stop very early in the day to camp to give the horses a complete rest where they aren't really doing anything the full day. As everyone is setting up the camp, you hear screams coming from a little bit north and west of your direction where you have set up this camp.
Ora rushes fast to where the screams are.
Run towards danger.
All right. So, if you want to go ahead and in Fantasy Grounds, open up the outdoor map. As you guys are getting in there, you will see as you run up that there are 4 ogres who are closing in on a large centaur and an elf that the centaur is protecting. You can see he's got his arms stretched out in a very protective stance, keeping her behind him at all times. As you approach Mizeki, you notice that this isn't the same kind of centaur as you. He's very much larger than you, and his human body is a lot more covered in fur than yours is.
Amazing. And there's an elf with him?
Yes, there is an elf with him that he is in a very much protective stance, kind of pushing back and shoving back uh,
Okay.
to keep her out of danger as these ogres are smashing rocks out in the field and picking them up and chucking them in that direction.
Are we sure this isn't one of Mizeki's distant cousins?
Now who's being racist?
Hey, we went to your family's house, and like most of your family is either elves or centaurs.
It's outdoor map is the one, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
So these ogres all have their backs toward us because they're surrounding the centaur and elf.
correct. None of them notice you as you approach. I would like everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Mazeki, remember you have advantage on this initiative.
Yes, I still do.
Okay.
That's gonna be a cool 4, boss.
All right. 4 for Valerian,
17 for Sadzi.
17 for Sadzi,
Whopping 6 for Ore.
6 for Ore,
20 for Mizeki.
11 for Ito.
11 for Ito, and we got a 12 for Alondiel. So first is is Mizeki.
Yay. I've got spells now.
You've got spells.
Step 1. Do any of them look like they're an immediate, like imminent threat of running up and hitting them in melee?
So this one in the center is definitely the one that looks like he's running up, and he's got this big old branch that he just grabbed from a nearby tree that he's running and using up as a club. The others are all kind of by rocks and are constantly smashing the rocks, breaking them into pieces, and picking them up and chucking them.
Okay. I am going to use Hex on the middle one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
That was bullshit. It was an 18 and then it fell over to a 5. It's 10 to hit.
Okay, that will miss as it just glances off the thick hide of the ogre.
If they're not aware of him, does he get advantage?
Oh. That's true.
They are not surprised. So
Okay, yeah, so we're not hidden or anything. They're just
yeah, they haven't noticed you yet specifically, but they're already engaged in combat.
Yeah.
So now there's just another thing for them to deal with.
Well, that's all of my actions, friends.
Except your
So
move.
I'm not moving from where I am, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm protected somewhat.
Okay.
So I will be done.
All right. So the centaur pulls out his bow and begins to shoot towards the ogres that's running towards him. And you watch as 2 quick arrows fire and make contact, sticking in to the left shoulder of the ogre in the center there. And then it is Sadzi's turn.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to move kind of behind the group of ogres so that I'm a little closer to center, but I'm still pretty much far back.
Okay.
And then let's firebolt at the one in the center. I think it's number 2.
Yeah. And that's the same one that just took the 2 arrows to his shoulder.
Yeah. So that's a 13.
13 will hit.
Sweet. 8.
8 damage. Okay.
Oh, I wanted to hex him for strength.
Hex on strength. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
I remembered why I did that all of a sudden.
Anything else, Sadzi?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. It is Alondiel's turn, who will rush over a little bit and back away from the ogre. And then we'll cast Toll the Dead on the one that you guys are attacking there in the center. So what's his DC? His DC is 15, and Toll the Dead is a Wisdom save. And ogres are super wise, so this will definitely save. That's a 9. So he'll take 2 points of damage from the Toll the Dead.
That's so sad.
I rolled a 2
Doing
on
work.
a d12. It happens. All right, and then it is Ito's turn.
So Ito unfortunately really can't get to the one that everyone else is attacking, so he's just gonna start hitting this one right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense. We were just attacking that one, I think, because it's gonna get in melee. And
It's bonking time.
is that how he says it?
No.
It is the bonk time.
That'll be a 26 to hit,
That will hit.
and he will swing his Ikawa for a grand total of 6 damage.
Okay.
And then, of course, the customary bonus action shove.
Okay. Can you shove a larger creature than you?
I think it's up to one size category larger.
Yeah, up to
Yeah.
one size larger.
Okay.
I got a 10.
10. They aren't trained in athletics, so it's just a strength check. I got a 6. He goes down.
Nice. So
that ogre.
Ito just runs up, gives literally the weakest stab he is capable of while still dealing damage, and then bashes it in the face just hard enough that it just kind of topples over.
All right. Yep. And then you see it is the elf's turn. And she mutters some words. And you see, as in front of that ogre kind of surrounding him in the center, as the plants begin to grow up rapidly, trying to grab and restrain him. Is it ability checks or saving throws or both for Hex?
Hex is ability checks,
Okay, so it doesn't
not
happen
saving throws.
on saving throws. Okay, that's a 9. That's still a fail. So that ogre is wrapped up in these plants and is restrained. It is now the ogre's turn. So we'll start with this ogre that just got knocked to the ground and very confused. He'll stand up, look around for a bit, see Ito, take his club that he's got in his one hand, and grab it and just kind of swing down, trying to just smash you into the ground. That is a 9 to hit.
That'll miss.
Okay. Ogre number 1 and ogre number 4, they're going to continue like smashing these rocks and chucking them towards the elf and the centaur. Those are both going to miss and go wide, just sailing over them and beyond. And then this ogre who is trapped is going to attempt to break free. And fail with an 11. Still does not break free and is still just struggling and trying to rip these plants off of it. And it is now Oray's turn.
I am going to rush over here. And I'm going to target this closest, or the lower, I'm Ogre 1. I'm going to target Ogre 1
Okay.
with command and shout, flee.
Okay. What's your save?
Wisdom save 15.
Wisdom 15. That is a 7.
Excellent. And then I'm going to bonus action Starry Form and target the Ogre number 2.
Okay.
I'm rolling for it here. One moment. That's a total of 9.
That'll miss. Just a sec
And that's
here.
me.
Let me see. He is restrained, so I think you actually have advantage on that. Yeah.
Cool. So re-rolling for my advantage. That is a natural 20.
Okay.
That's a little better.
Just a tad. Boo. It's a 3 and a 1 for damage, so total of 9.
Okay. All right. The ogre does not seem happy by that outcome. Valerian, it is your turn.
All right, there's this rock to the southwest of Ogre 3 right here. Is that difficult terrain, or do I have to go around the other way?
It is currently difficult terrain because that ogre has been spending time smashing it up to grab pieces to chuck and throw towards the centaur and the elf. But now that you guys are here, he's kind of turned his attention to you.
All right, so if I move here, am I flanking with Ito?
Yes,
This would
you
be
are.
20 feet, and I'm assuming I just add 10 more for the 2 difficult terrain spaces I have to walk through.
Yep.
And ogres, oh, it's all good. All right, so he will shout at the ogre 1, 2, and 4's direction, and he'll shout towards them, "Cowards! Come have a fair fight!" And then he will stab at Ogre 3 with advantage from Ito. So let's do that real quick.
I've seen this happen in Skyrim.
There
What
we
happens
go.
next is he goes into space.
With advantage, that is a whopping 14.
That'll hit.
Woohoo! That is going to be 14 damage.
Okay.
And then he'll hit him with the butt of his spear. With advantage as well. 13.
13 will hit.
And then he will, oh yeah, damage. D4, go! That will be 8.
Okay.
And then he'll cast Shield of Faith on himself. Sorry,
that's
he
too many
can't. That's a
actions.
bonus action. Yeah,
So,
all done.
Okay. That's back to the top of the round for Mizeki.
Do we get Sadzi?
Yeah.
I'm after.
She's after the centaur.
Ah, cool.
Who isn't? Am I right? Ha. All right. Sorry.
You?
Dudunch.
I'm going to be very sad again and just continue to be sad because I get a 9 to hit.
9 will miss.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you targeting? Because the one in the center is currently restrained and you have advantage.
Oh, he's restrained.
Yeah, by the spell Entangle.
I got another 9.
That's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to my life.
Your Eldritch Blast
Yeah.
goes wide.
The dice are like, you have a 9.
I'm gonna hide.
Okay. Where are you going to hide? There's not really any great places for you to hide.
Can I hide behind this ogre that's in front of me relative to the other ogres?
Uh, no, because he will just tell all the other ogres that you're there. To be able to hide, you need to break sight from all of them.
How dare he? Okay, yeah, I can't do anything. I don't have any good bonus actions here.
What are you talking about? You can dash and run up and try and get next to your centaur buddy.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. Whatever at this point. I'll do it.
Like,
Lion Man's.
you're a rogue. Don't say you have no good bonus
Well, yeah,
actions.
but I'm a rogue with not a lot of health.
Yeah. Disengage. It's a great action.
I will run over there
Are you
to
going in
hang
that
out.
line?
No, but it's the same as if I went forward and then diagonal
Okay.
because 5 foots don't matter anymore.
Yep. Yep.
The world is a cube.
Fair.
And then I'm gonna say to him in Sylvan, "What's happening? How did you end up like this?"
Okay. Uh, he will answer in Sylvan. Then he'll be like, "We don't know how we got here, but when we did, the ogres started attacking. And it's his turn, so he will pull out his bow and continue to shoot at that one in the center. His first one will hit. His second one will also hit, but barely, even with his advantage. And he will deal some damage. Ooh, that's good. All right. And Sadzi, it is your turn.
Okay. Let's try to firebolt the one in the center again. See if we can knock him out.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And a whopping 2 points of damage.
Hey, it happens.
And I think I'd like to move a little bit further, I guess, to the left.
Okay.
And up just a hair.
Yeah. So you've got 35 feet. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. And then let's center you on that square. Okay. It is Alondiel's turn, and he'll continue moving forward, sticking with Ore here. And then he will toll the dead Ogre 3 that you two are fighting. That Ogre gets a 7 and will fail. And takes 3 points of damage this time. Moving on up in the world, that's a 50% increase in damage.
Amazing. Truly.
All right. And it is now Ito's turn.
More stabbing.
Okay.
This time with advantage.
Yes, this time with advantage.
A whole critical. Nice.
Ooh.
And it was the lower roll was a 19.
What we are learning tonight is that Ito just always wants to roll 2 dice, whether it's advantage or disadvantage, because he rolls very
Yep.
well.
Yes. That'll be 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay.
And the customary shove still does nothing. Still fun.
I mean, it does more than nothing.
18.
It wastes half his movement.
Okay.
True.
He got an 8.
Also, I forgot to mention it last time, but I am repeatedly applying Unwavering Mark to this poor enemy.
Okay. All right. It is now the elf's turn. And let's see here. That's got a range of 30 feet. What is our range here? 35 feet. So she'll move over and she'll summon flame and chuck it at the ogre. And will miss as it goes over the ogre's head and just kind of fades into nothingness as it reaches the ogre. It is then the ogre's turn. So again, we'll deal with this ogre in between the two of you. And he's going to continue trying to smash this human into the ground. That is a 13 to hit. I believe that's going to miss, Ito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, and then the ogre in the center is going to try and break free from these plants. 13, so he breaks free. And can use its action. And then will sprint towards them, trying to close the distance and get right up next to the centaur. And we'll get right there, but has no action to attack with, but has closed the distance. This ogre, seeing his friend has gotten up there, is also going to close in the distance. And this ogre, seeing a cat and thinking that the cat is an easier target than the large centaur that they're going after, is going to turn
Isn't
and come
that
after the cat.
that's the one that I commanded to flee?
That is the one you commanded to flee. Thank you for reminding me. I did not mark that on him. He will flee away from you. So,
Into the ether.
and that lasts just a round, right?
I believe it is just around, yeah.
Okay. He's off the map because he uses his action to move away as well. And
Does it count as a dash?
yeah, because they use their action to dash
Right. Okay.
for flee. So okay. This ogre is going to swing its club at the centaur. That is a 20 to hit, which will connect. And the centaur will take some damage. Okay. And then it is Oray's turn.
I am going to target Ogre 4 with my special use guiding bolt.
What's the range on that?
120 feet.
Okay.
That's a natural 19 for a total of 26.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Why do these guys go?
That's only 10 points of radiant damage on him for that. And then I will also shoot him with my... Oh, maybe I can't. I don't think I only have 6. Let me just double check here.
Which one are you shooting?
The fresh Ogre 4. That's right next to Tar.
The one that's not hurt.
The one that's not hurt.
Well, number
I'm
4
really-
just got hurt by your guiding bolt.
Well, right, just wasn't hurt prior to my attack.
Right.
I'm going to take a couple of steps forward and then attack him with my art form.
Okay. So you would have advantage because you just did your guiding bolt on it. So.
Yep.
I'm very sad the ogres aren't 5 feet closer together.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Could thunder wave them.
Oh, not much of advantage, but that's a 16.
16 will hit.
Cool. Better. Looks like 12 points of radiant damage on that one.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Let's see. I moved, 5, 10, 15. I'm going to do 15 more feet over to about there.
All right.
And that's
Valerian, it is your turn.
All right. Seeing the battle unfold, Valerian will change his plans a little bit, and he'll just stab right at this ogre between him and Ito.
Okay.
That will be a 10, which is probably not going to be enough.
10 will miss.
All right, and then he will try and hit it with the butt of his spear.
Okay.
That'll be it. That's not a 10, actually. I don't know why it's going to be a +2 on that.
It's because
It
you
should
rolled
be
2d20, and so you rolled an 8 on one die and a 2 on the other. So 8
okay.
plus
It
your
should be a
modifier.
14.
14
Yeah.
will hit. So
Hooray! All right, so he is going to go ahead and smite this one. Yeah, we're going to smite it.
smite with the blunt end of the glaive. Nice.
Yeah. For 7 damage.
Your modifier.
And +4. 11.
Okay. All right.
And then he'll take a step here. Ogres have 10-foot reach, right?
No, they're 5 foot.
All right, I'll just move there. And I'm done.
Okay. All right. That brings us back to the top of the round to Mizeki.
Give me a second. I have to miss rolling my dice again. Hey, 18.
Which one
To
are you
hit
targeting?
the one that currently has the hex on him.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit.
And then I do 3 damage plus. So 1 sec. Because I have 2 damage type. So 8 damage necrotic.
Okay.
And then where is my genie thing?
Your genie thing is thunder damage, I believe.
Yeah, it does thunder
But I
damage.
think that's with
but
a melee attack.
I think it's just attacks.
Is it just attacks?
It's of course I don't have a listing for it to like do the damage. Yeah, there's no. This is frustrating. All right, hold on. Let me open up the full page. Yeah, there's literally no feature listing for it or anything.
Oh, for Hex? Yeah, you have to manually roll it.
Oh, the Genie's Vessel.
Oh.
Genie's Wrath. Once during each of your turns, if you hit with an attack roll, I
Okay.
deal extra damage equal to my proficiency bonus. So I deal an extra 2 thunder damage to him.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. And that's all I'm gonna do right now.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So the centaur will drop his longbow now that the ogres have engaged, pulling out his pike from off of his back and swing at the one that you just hit with the Eldritch Blast. That will hit for some damage. Okay. And with that, that ogre goes down. And the centaur will turn to face you, and as he does, he'll rear up his hind legs and hit the ogre that is behind him. That is an 18. That will hit for 11 piercing damage. Or bludgeoning damage. And then
Look, man, he's got some sharp hooves.
Well, because I was looking at his pike for the damage, but I rolled the right damage. I was just like, wait a second, that's not right. Then it is Sadzi's turn.
Okay. I'm guessing that Valerian and Ito have the other ogre pretty well taken care of.
You could always steal their kill. I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah, because that's really a discussion I want to have tomorrow night. No,
What do you mean tomorrow night? It would be tonight.
tonight.
They
Yeah,
won't wait.
whatever.
So when you stole my kill, it made me very sad.
Oh, please. These guys would probably be a lot of chest thumping. All right. Move forward. Firebolt.
Okay. Move forward. Firebolt. And are you firing at the one that was running away or the one by the centaur?
The one by the centaur.
Okay.
And that's a 19 to hit.
So that'll hit.
Two measly points of damage.
All right. Okay. And then it is Alondiel's turn, who has no shame and will steal the kill. Toll the dead. He will not steal the kill because the ogre gets a 16 and saves. But he will continue moving up towards Ore, trying to get closer into the fight. And then it is Ito's turn.
Michael, I say preemptively.
I'm going to laugh when you don't do enough damage to kill it.
So, 16 with advantage.
16 will hit.
That'll be 7 damage.
All right, that ogre goes down.
Haha. And let me just take a look at the map here.
Yeah, you could start running towards the other
Yeah.
ogre.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to start running that way.
Okay. All right. It is the elf's turn, and she's going to again just summon some fire and throw it at this ogre. She will connect this time, and it deals 1d8 damage for 8 whole points of damage. Not 4.3. What the heck?
Max damage.
All right, and then it is the ogre's turn. So command only lasts 1 round, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this ogre is going to come charging back in with its full speed to get up there, and the second ogre is going to go ahead and slam his club down on the centaur's hindquarters. That is a 22, which will hit for 13 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
That centaur is not looking too great anymore after that. And then it is Ore's turn.
Ore is going to target the remaining two. The one that came back from command, I'm going to hit him with my special guiding bolt.
Okay.
That is 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
That's a much better 46 for 15.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit him with my starter form.
Same one.
Same one.
Okay.
Well, I have advantage on him now, so.
Yeah. I just questioned because initially you said you were going to attack it, the two.
Yeah, I was thinking about attacking both of them to kind of thin them out, but I think I got to focus on this one guy. That is a D3 to hit.
Yep. That advantage helped. Avoided a natural 1.
Ooh, for full 8 damage, total of 13 damage on him.
Okay. All right.
And that's it for me. Actually, quick question for you. The lighter gray rock that's on there, is it tall from its shadow?
It is tall.
Very tall. Okay, thanks.
So yeah, it is the height of the ogres.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's more of a pillar than a stone.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Okay, Valerian, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to run. Valerian will run up, and luckily he has a glaive, so he can stab this ogre.
Okay.
This one, ogre 4 is not looking too good, right? And then ogre 1 is just like, a little bit bloodied.
Yeah. 4 looks a lot worse off.
All right. What he's actually going to do is he's going to raise his left arm again, and then he's going to point to both of the ogres, and he's going to bellow at them. I am Valerian, and you will know fear. And then he's going to use his channel divinity to make them afeared. So they have to make a wisdom save DC 14 or else they're feared.
Okay. One of them gets a 14, and then the other one gets a 2. So
All right.
number 4 is afraid, number 1 is not.
I wish it was the other way around.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be. Wouldn't it be nice? That is everything. He's done. Because that takes his action.
Okay. Mizeki.
All right. The ogre I had hexed died, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Swapping with my BA to ogre 1, choosing con.
Okay.
I'm going to get right up in here, and I'm going to thunderwave these two men.
Okay.
It's a 15-foot cube in front of me, so I can hit both of them. It is a DC 13 con save.
DC 13 con save. So hex only applies to ability checks, not saves. So.
Oh, yeah.
And they both get 20.
Of course they do.
Ouch. But
So
they still take half.
Yeah,
Do
they
they
still
take
take half damage, but they don't get pushed away.
Yeah. They take 5 damage.
Okay. All right. It is the centaur's turn, who's going to stab the one closer to the elf with his pike. That will hit. For 5 points of damage. And then he'll rear up on his hind legs and then come down, hitting it with his hooves. But that'll miss. That's a 9. And then it is Sodzi's turn.
I was trying to see if I could get close enough to do flaming hands, but it doesn't look like it.
You're like 25 feet away. So you could run up basically right next to them. You've got a 35-foot speed.
Yeah, I didn't think that was enough to get me over there.
15, 20, 25. Yeah, they're like exactly 30. I should readjust them to the spaces that they're actually in, because for some reason I got shifted to half spaces. But yeah. So that's going to aim Burning Hands into the
Mizeki, but
centaur. Or yeah, you could aim it to only hit one ogre and Mizeki, or you could aim it to hit both ogres and hit the centaur and the elf from there.
Couldn't she take a step back? Yeah.
Yeah. Taking a step back, it's a 15-foot cone.
Yeah.
Right?
So hit. I think it still hits me.
Let's see. Where
You can angle it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the drawing option? It's not giving me the drawing option. You should have an option to draw and do a 15-foot cone to show what it hits.
Possibly, but forgive me, I have no idea how to do it.
It should be just like right-click on your token.
There. Can't you do that?
That's a little small, but yeah, she can do that.
I mean, like that same idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know why it won't let me do that.
Did that work?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
worked. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, see, and that hits the centaur.
But
It,
can't you just angle it to the
yeah.
left? Yeah.
So,
There you go.
yep.
Cool, let's do that.
Okay. So what is your DC?
Let's see. It's a dex save 14 on the Burning Hands.
Dex 14. Okay. 7 and 8, so they both fail.
Yes.
Because they're
10 damage.
super dexterous. 10 damage? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think I have anything else I can do.
Okay. Alondiel will run up and will toll the dead on Ogre 4. 15 save, which will save, so that does nothing. Ito, your turn.
More running, more stabbing.
Okay.
Actually, if I move one more to the left, am I considered flanking with that centaur?
No, you'd need to go 2 more to get onto
Okay.
the corner.
Yeah, and I don't have quite the movement for that, unfortunately. Well, stabby stab.
Okay.
24 to hit.
That'll hit.
And max damage, 13.
Okay. That'll kill it.
Ito basically just comes flying out of nowhere and decides to end this thing. And then, unfortunately, actually, no. He will action surge to dash, get up to the other one, and shove it prone.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking you used your action surge earlier, but I was remembering your fight with Valerian. I was like, wait, you used that, didn't you? Yeah. Okay.
That'll be a 21 on the shove.
It got a 10.
Yay, it's prone, because I must put something prone every turn.
Good job.
Okay. All right. The elf will cast a quick spell, and you'll see the quarterstaff that she carries glow green momentarily, and then she'll come and swing it down on top of the ogre that you just knocked over for her. 21 will hit for 4 bludgeoning damage. And then it is the ogre's turn, who is going to stand up and smash the centaur. And will miss. That's an 8 to hit. And then it is Ore's turn.
Ore is going to bonus action starry form hit this guy first. It's a natural 19 for 26.
26 hits.
I think 26 was the damage, right?
11 damage.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Ore sees everybody rushing up on this guy and still in the starry form, just release of the little bolt at him and kind of pop him in the net as his body starts to deteriorate in the little glowy sparks before he poofs into glitter and falls to the ground.
Okay. All right. With that, the centaur turns to Mizeki and again in Sylvan says, "Thank you for your assistance. I don't know what we would have done had you not shown up." And the elf, also in Sylvan, will say the same thing. And then we'll switch to common and will say thank you to everybody and introduce herself as Cyrodiil and introduce the centaur as Argus.
That's a good name for a centaur.
Mm-hmm.
Mizeki's gonna basically try to ask, because they had mentioned they're not sure how they got here,
Mm-hmm.
if they would be okay with coming back with them to the camp, and they can get them healed up and figure out what to do.
Okay. Are you common or Sylvan?
Sylvan.
Sylvan. Okay.
He kind of instinctively just swaps to his native tongue if
Right.
someone's talking to him.
Yeah, just making sure. Because he doesn't understand common. So,
Because he's so big.
yeah. And he goes, "Where is your camp?"
Aren't we like less than 5 minutes away? We're just like a short walk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You could point off to it, and you could probably
Yeah.
see it. But
I'll just point
uh,
and say we're right over there. We were traveling the road.
and he goes, "Yes, very well. We could use a bit of rest, and that would give us time to think and reflect and figure out how we got here."
Ore will say out to him, "Do you know why they were attacking you in Sylvan?"
And he'll go, "I think we surprised them. We just showed up. They were there, smashing on rocks, and we showed up and they saw us, and they began screaming and rushing towards us. I started leading Cyrodiil away and protecting her."
Just breaking rocks with your buddies, and some dudes show up and mess up your rock breaking.
Understood. And then Ore is gonna loot the ogres,
Okay.
see if they have anything of value.
So the ogres have on them great clubs that they've made from various branches of the nearby trees. So they're not very good quality, but they're large enough to count as a great club if you wanted to wield one as such. But they're not worth anything as far as selling them. In addition, fishing around in their pockets that they have in their clothes, you come across uh, 64 copper pieces between the four of them total, and then you come across 15 silver pieces and 8 gold pieces, as well as a several dead animals that are small and from the prairie.
I give
How
the small dead animals to Sodzi, and I give all of that money to the party fund.
Okay.
64 copper, 15 silver, 8 gold.
Okay. Let
And then
me.
I'm going to go inspect that obelisk.
Okay.
I was just wondering how old are these dead animals? Fairly fresh?
Not that fresh. You'd estimate
Oh well,
maybe 5-6 days.
that's very not fresh.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess that's what stew's for.
Okay. I updated the party funds with that money. So that has been
Yay.
updated onto Londiel's sheet. So pretty much the rest of you have no idea what's been said this whole time, other than the thank you from the elf.
Mizeki will, as soon as like they start moving in any way or seem like they're ready to go, will convey they teleported here without obvious cause, and we're gonna get them back, get them fixed up, and see if we can figure out what's going on. I don't believe the centaur speaks common.
He does not.
That was him telling the other people why he was talking in Sylvan.
Right. He does speak Elvish, though, and so Alondiel can actually communicate with him.
He doesn't. No, it's a lie. He only speaks Sylvan.
He speaks Elvish and Sylvan. It says so
No.
right here.
Let me have this. Fair.
Alondiel's not here to communicate with him, so, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, Algie has been complaining for quite some time now. He was a bad boy. And now Sadzi is holding him in her lap.
All right. So Ore, that is a large stone pillar. Looking at it, you don't recognize what kind of stone it is from. And the centaur walks over to you, examines it, and goes, "This came with us. Odd." In Sylvan.
Came with you from where? Again, returning in Sylvan.
He goes, "We were traveling in the Feywild."
Does Ore know what the Feywild is?
Make a general intelligence check. Actually, I'd let religion work here. That has not some knowledge of the planes, as would Arcana.
Okay, can I keep that same roll, or do I have to? Should I roll it again?
Yeah, you can keep that. So
it was 5, and you said it was either nature. What
Arcana,
was it?
Arcana or religion.
I am proficient in Arcana, so 4 plus 5 for 9.
9. It sounds vaguely familiar, but you don't know where you've heard about it or what it is.
What were the options to roll?
Arcana or religion.
They're both awful. Woo!
There's not any markings on it. It's just a different kind of stone.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of stone.
A dwarf could tell us about it.
Like, it's very much, you get the feeling that, like, it's not from here.
I got a 21 Arcana.
So you know that the Feywild is one of the planes. So there are different planes of existence, and so you guys are currently on the main material plane, and the Feywild sits basically right on top of it. And is this very kind of bright, sunshiny place where the sun never really sets. It gets darker, but it never gets dark. And you've heard tales about how when you're there and you return, or if you're not native to that plane, you don't really remember anything that happened on it unless you're essentially lucky. And so for the centaur to be openly talking about it, you understand immediately that he is from the Feywild.
Okay, we'll convey this information to the group.
Is there any other items that look like they may have come from the Feywild with the stone, aside from just the centaur and the elf?
No.
Is there any magic in the area if we point the Ore stick at it?
Ore, do you cast Detect Magic?
As a matter, I was thinking the same thing. I am going to cast magic on it.
Okay. So you cast Detect Magic. So you notice obviously the magic items that you guys have picked up. Since you haven't done this since Valerian joined, you notice that his gauntlets are magical. but the stone is not, and neither is anything on the elf or the centaur. But there is just this faint remnant of, I believe it's transmutation, is what the teleportation spells are
That sounds
I think
right.
so, yeah.
under, in this just area.
They are conjuration.
Oh, yeah. Conjuration. Yep, that would make sense. Yeah, so just this faint conjuration magic.
Ore's gonna see if he can take part of the stone, like a loose piece of stone
Yeah,
off of it. If
there's
there's a
plenty of it because that ogre when it showed up went over and started smashing it and breaking it for
yeah.
rocks to throw.
Sure, I'm gonna take a few stones from this obelisk.
Okay.
These ogres were rude, man. They brought them even cooler rocks, and all they did was attack them.
Dinner.
Maybe there's a bunch of dead animals under that rock, and they like crushed some of their food or something.
Hmm.
Did we heal the centaur?
I don't believe so.
Because he did take a bonk.
He took 2. I think he was the only one to get hit
Oh,
because I couldn't
he took
roll
an
worth
outrage.
a darn on anybody else.
He's.
I will cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on him.
Okay.
That is 17 healing for him.
Okay, he's looking a lot better, but you can still see his wounds haven't fully healed from that. As you guys continue making your way back to the camp, as you approach with this much larger centaur and this elf in tow, you get a lot of looks. When the Furbolg will approach, and in Sylvan will reach out and greet this centaur, introducing herself as Inali and asking him where he came from, and he'll go through the story with her about how they got here. And then she'll turn and comment and go, so that's interesting.
Yes. I feel like maybe we should send some people out to roam nearby and see if anything else appeared.
That's
Valerian will volunteer
a good
very quickly.
idea. Our job is
Yes,
to
good
protect
idea.
the caravan, but you are definitely well equipped. I can't, of course, order you to go out, but if you would like to, you should definitely do so. At which point, Elman walks over and he goes, Inali is right. She can't command you, but I can. If.
Did you mean for his inflection to be a question mark?
Yeah, it's like, but
She's like,
I
but
can.
I can, because maybe he like realizes who he's talking to, or is it just an accident?
No, that's on purpose, because there's
Okay.
like, I was still going, and he goes, if you accept this. And he pulls out a coin pouch.
Mizeki will 1000% take the coin
Ooh.
pouch.
And he goes, congratulations, you're hired.
This has been the easiest interview I've ever had. They will probably need some food and a little bit of fire,
And he goes,
and we will start our circuit.
all right. And he goes, I will issue commands now that I expect you to follow to the letter for the rest of this trip. You are now employed.
Seems reasonable. Alrighty.
So we're employed to scout for anything else that came from the Feywild?
We're employed in general as guards now
Mm-hmm.
under him.
And
Oh,
he,
as guards.
He's established a chain of command with us in it, is what he's done.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, because before, I mean, he couldn't really command you to do anything. I mean, he could have because, Valerian was so willing to submit, but officially he could not. And so he will tell you, go and search and make sure that there are no lurking dangers that might present issue to our camp. And report back to us if we should quickly move on, even though the horses should be resting today. If we need to, we will leave and camp a little further down the road.
Understood. And I guess we'll go out and do a scout.
Okay.
Kind of a search grid around the camp, circular, ever expanding further out, looking for anything else.
All right. And with that, we will end there, picking up next week with you guys going out from the camp to scout what is going on with the centaur and the elf that showed up from the Feywild.
Not next week, right?
Uh,
Next week.
Sorry, yeah, next time. So on when we return on January 8th. So in 3 weeks.
We're gonna unionize.
So, but yeah, I'm so used to saying next week because we're getting back into the habit of weekly. But yeah, yes, you're right. We are not playing for the next 2 weeks for the holidays, so I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season and New Year. And we will be back on January 8th with our 14th episode, and we'll see how things go. But thanks so much, everybody, for playing, for coming out, and for watching. I appreciate it all, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.